And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. I know I'm a little bit late, but please blame the white man. It's not my fault. We got a whole lot of topics all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere. Shout out to the Biden administration for announcing the Ministry of Truth, also known as what they say, the Disinformation Governance Board. What type of nonsense is this? They're going to try to use the Department of Homeland Security to control online media. Also, shout out to Terry Crews for saying the right thing back in the summer of 2020 when it needed to be said about BLM. He said the right thing back then, but now all of a sudden he wants to retract what he said. Why? Why now, 2 years later? We'll talk about that in a minute. Also, we're going to talk about Sage Steele of ESPN suing the network over violating her freedom of speech. Because remember, last year she was on Jay Cutler's podcast talking about the vax mandate from ESPN, how it was really scary. Although she is vaxxed, she thinks the mandate is scary, which I think a lot of us believe. Even if you have the vax, forcing someone to get it is not really the way to go. Also, Buzzfeed comes up with a list, 21 unwritten rules for black people. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. Couldn't do it without y'all. If you enjoy what you have heard thus far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. I told y'all, I'm not missing no more Saturday shows. I am here live and in full color. I promise it's live. This is not a recording. This is not a hologram. This is not misinformation. This is not fake news. I am here. And thank you all again for being here. Couldn't do it without y'all. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internets. That list was stupid, Pete Sangria, 100%. And before I get into today's topics, of course, I got to give a shout out to all of my sponsors. Of course, myself, AnthonyBLogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. You can find my email, my snail mail, and all that good stuff on my contact page, as well as my social media accounts, my Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. All that good stuff is right there on the platform. And what else we got? Of course, ABLmerch.com. That is ABLmerch.com. We got hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more live on the site. And a bunch of more stuff is on the way. It's USPS, Pony Express. However you're going to get it there, we're going to get it there. By hook or by crook, we're going to get new merch on the site. Again, ABLmerch.com. Also, if you want one of these beautiful handmade wooden flags that are right behind me, go to BHEdesigns.com. That is BHEdesigns.com. Link will be in the description box. You could get ones just like that or whatever you desire, whatever floats your boat. Go to BHEdesigns.com and get that right there. Also, if you want a really good site for news, information, memes, whatever you desire from a more conservative point of view, go to patriotpost.us. Links will be in the description. And of course, this is a podcast you're listening to right now. This is a live podcast being recorded. And if you want to hear the replay or you just want to hear the whole thing in full, if you didn't catch the full thing from the beginning, just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. That's Apple, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, all over the place. And if you just want a really quick way to get to it, the link will be in the description. If you're listening to me right now on your favorite audio streaming platform, please give me a 5-star rating or review, whatever you can. I'd most certainly appreciate it if you did. Now, we got a whole lot to get into. Yeah, RIP Naomi Judd. I think I did see that. I think she was, 74 years old? RIP Naomi Judd. Yeah, unfortunate. But what are we going to talk about right now? I think both of my flags are not glossy. You may see kind of a sheen on the flags behind me because of the light. I got these big floodlights right here. I guess you would call them floodlights. I got those right there on either side of me. So that's going to cause kind of a light reflection, but they're not glossy at all. I think they're matte finish. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the topics. We got a few things I want to address. Let's talk about Sage Steele first. Now, a lot of you guys may have been following this story. I think I did a video last year when the whole thing happened. So Sage Steele is a very well-known ESPN anchor, and she appeared on Jay Cutler's podcast last year, right? She was on the podcast last year talking about a few things. Matter of fact, I think she was suspended last year over it. So let's go back before we get to the suspension and what's going on now. So last year, Sage Steele went on Jay Cutler's podcast and made a couple of comments that got her in some hot water. Matter of fact, I have the footage from my video last year I did about this, and I'm going to go ahead and just throw that on the screen right quick. But yeah, Sage Steele is an ESPN anchor, very well known. She's been on SportsCenter. She's been everywhere. You know, if you watch sports, if you watch ESPN at all, you'll recognize her. So here are the comments from Jay Cutler's podcast. Let's get some sound and let's get some video, and let's go ahead and roll this right here.
Census. I'm like, well, I don't know when the last time I filled out my census was, but if they make you choose a race, she's like, what are you going to put? I go, well, both. She's like, well, you can't. She goes, well, what if Barack Obama chose black and he's biracial? I'm like, well, congratulations to the president. That's his thing. I go, I think that's fascinating considering his black dad was nowhere to be found, but his white mom and grandma raised him. But hey, you do you.
Uh-oh. See right there. Now, a little bit of context, in case you're a little bit confused. So Sage Steele was talking to somebody about not wanting to fill out black or white on the census because she's biracial. Her mother is white and her father is black. The same as Barack Obama, white mother, black father. It's the same thing, right? And then the person she was talking to was like, hey, why don't you just fill out black? Barack Obama does it. But it's like, well, his black dad was nowhere and his mom was the one that was right there with him and his white grandparents. So why you got to pick black versus white? Why can't you just say biracial? Why not do that? And I know people that are biracial and they just pick different things. You shouldn't have to pick one if you don't want to. You should be able to pick, if you can say black or white or biracial, it shouldn't have to be one thing you just are forced to do, in my humble opinion. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I don't have that experience of being biracial, so I wouldn't really understand where they're coming from personally. But you should be able to pick biracial if you want to.
I'm going to do me. I think I respect everyone's decision. I really do. Yeah. But to mandate it is sick and it's scary.
So right here, she's talking about the jab, and you see the little Band-Aid right there on her left arm. I think she got the jab right here. She is vaxxed, so she probably had just gotten the jab, but she's saying that the mandate from Disney Corporation, because remember, Disney owns ESPN, ABC, Pixar, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of these media companies Disney owns. So the mandate coming from up high, from the Bob Igers of the world, is sick, and it's scary to say that if you want to work at a place, you must get this particular shot, right? She's referring to that.
To me in many ways. But I have a job that I love, and frankly, a job that I need. But again, I love it. I just, I'm not surprised it got to this point, especially with Disney. I mean, a global company like
Yes.
So that's that. So those comments right there, the one about Barack Obama especially, that's what got her suspended back in 2021. This is October 2021. So she was suspended for a while. After the suspension, she was kind of just pulled from the limelight. So prime example, rather than her being on 8 p.m. SportsCenter prime time, she would get pushed to the 12 noon SportsCenter or something that's like 2 o'clock in the morning where you don't even really see her. This is one of their star people, one of their biggest talents. Not quite Stephen A. Smith, obviously, but right up there. So you're sidelining her, and she's like, well, hey, wait a minute. That's called discrimination. And in Connecticut law, you cannot discriminate on constitutionally protected speech. So if you have freedom of speech, First Amendment, Connecticut law says you cannot discriminate based on First Amendment protected speech. Other states may not be the same way. Other states, you may be able to fire somebody for that and get away with it, but not in Connecticut. So she's suing ESPN for violating her civil rights, her freedom of speech, for sidelining her, for punishing her for comments made on a podcast on Jay Cutler's podcast. And if you guys don't know, Jay Cutler was the former Chicago Bears quarterback, kind of a mid-level quarterback, in my humble opinion. Not even a Tony Romo, but different story. Anyway, comments on the podcast and you get punished for that is not right, especially since we know now what she was saying about the vax, especially. Most people would agree with that. The whole thing about the biracial stuff, she's also biracial, so how is that a bad thing? She's speaking about her experience and talking about somebody else's, and it's comparable. So it wasn't a bad thing. So she's suing ESPN over that, and I hope that she's able to win. And remember, ESPN is the same place, Jay Quitler, hilarious, Devin, but ESPN is the same place that allowed Jemele Hill to call Trump a white supremacist. Remember that? Let's go back in time a little bit. Okay, let's go back. Now, this got all the way to the big boss, to Bob Iger. At the time, he was the CEO of Disney. Now, remember I said Disney is the parent company of ESPN. So Jemele Hill works for ESPN. So why is Bob Iger chiming in? You understand? So you see it right here. Disney CEO Bob Iger on why ESPN Jemele Hill wasn't punished for Trump tweets. Now, ultimately, she did. I'm not sure if she got fired or she resigned, but she did leave ESPN after this. But he jumped in to defend her, to save her. The big boss, like I was saying in my video, it's the equivalent of Joe Biden calling the county jail in Podunkville, nowhere state, USA, getting some dope boy out the clink after he got caught with a dime bag of some cocaine in his pocket. You understand? It's like that. It's like, why is Joe Biden calling for this? But you see, the reason why Bob Iger got involved is because it became political. I think Bob Iger was trying to run for president or something. You see, it's all kind of weird little stuff going on at a Disney, a ESPN, and ABC, and all these kind of like satellite companies. It's political. It's about money and politics. That's really what it is. This is why Sage Steele got punished, and this is why Jemele Hill was given a slap on the wrist at best, especially in the beginning, because of Bob Iger's of his ambition to go further in politics, and also because Disney and ESPN, et cetera, they want to purport themselves as being very woke. I'll talk about wokeness a little bit later, right? And it's also why the Hunter Biden story about him smoking crack, being a whole crackhead, that's why that story was squashed by Twitter. It's because of political pressure and from politically motivated people on the inside that did not want that to happen. I don't even think Jack, the former CEO of Twitter, wanted that to happen. But I think what happened with Twitter and Jack is that the company got out of control. It got beyond his control. So he couldn't really do too much. You see what I'm saying? He's not even there anymore as a CEO. I'm not sure if he even has a stake that's worth mentioning. Well, he doesn't anymore because Elon Musk has it, but that's a different story we'll talk about a little bit later. Right. So let's go ahead and skip to the next one here. And thank you all for being here. Definitely appreciate it. If you like what you're hearing thus far, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. But yeah, hopefully Sage Steele wins that particular lawsuit. And I think that there's going to be a lot more lawsuits coming against companies. If not for people being fired because of things that they say off the clock, also because of being fired due to not getting the shots. Oh, that's going to be a big one. In New York City, that's going to be huge. Because remember, I think it was over 1,000 employees. It might have been 1,400. It was over 1,000 employees in New York City who were fired because they couldn't meet the deadline to become vaccinated. You know, so they were fired just right there on the spot. And that's not even including the private employee or the private company employees who were fired for not abiding by the vax mandate or the mask mandate or whatever the case may be. So that's going to be a big lawsuit right there. You are allowing Kyrie Irving and whatnot to play and get swept in the first round by the Celtics. You're allowing that to happen. But meanwhile, Lil Joe Schmo can't even work at a taco stand without getting vaccinated. I mean, it's ridiculous. So there's going to be a lot of lawsuits against companies, against cities, against governments. And then we ain't talking about any potential injuries that could happen because of a particular thing that happened. We ain't talking about myocarditis. We ain't talking about stroke and heart problems. We ain't talking about all that. We're just talking about people being fired and losing their income. Not even the side effects potentially, allegedly, possibly due to that particular shot they got, right? But again, disclaimer for the YouTube. Here's a disclaimer right quick, right? I trust the science. I trust in our Lord and Savior, Anthony Fauci. Amen. So that's that. Anthony Fauci, science, that's what I believe. Anything else is fake news. I don't believe in it. And whatever Google says, they could come out with something that's new today and new tomorrow and new the next day. Whatever they come out with on a curated news page, I'll believe that, right? Rather than believe in my own brain and logic and common sense. So that's a disclaimer right there. I'm not going to follow my heart. I'm not going to follow my brain. I'm going to follow whatever Anthony Fauci tells me, right? So if he goes on TV and says something like, if the question, hold on, I got to put up that Anthony Fauci clip right quick before we get to the next topic, right? Because that one right there is crazy. If you're following Anthony Fauci, you're going to be like, you could be doing a 360. You're going to be doing pirouettes in your sleep. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to be completely lost in the sauce because this man's all over the place. I mean, that's probably why they took him off of television, because at a certain point, they know he might be as senile as Joe Biden. And Joe Biden is ridiculous. I mean, have you guys seen Joe? Have you guys seen him try to articulate himself? As a matter of fact, I know I'm skipping around here, but I think I'm going to go ahead and run that Joe Biden clip as I'm trying to find the Fauci clip. All right, so here's the Biden clip I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and throw that up right quick. Hold on.
Yachts, their luxury homes, and other ill-begotten gains of Putin's.
Let's start it one more time.
We're going to seize their yachts, their luxury homes, and other ill-begotten gains of Putin's kleptocracy. Kleptocracy and the guys who are the kleptocracies.
I mean, this is real. This is what's going on with our country. Okay, like that's happening right now. Do you think Joe Biden will be able to make it? Will he be able to make it past this year? I mean, at a certain point, they can't keep putting that man out there. They're going to have to say, all right, enough's enough. Let's go ahead and just let him, go back to Wilmington and hang out for a while, because what he's doing here is not working at all. Okay. And speaking of people that don't make any sense and could be potentially senile, I think Anthony Fauci is like 80 years old. So these people are very old. Hold on. Anthony Fauci age, he's 81. He'll be 82 in December, Christmas Eve this year. He was born December 24th, 1940. Sir, we're in 2022. You might want to retire. I mean, what are we doing, man? You can't retire. I don't understand. You worked so hard your whole life, right? I'm gonna give him a little bit of credit. I don't know what he's really done in his 1,000 years of service to the country, but you done worked so hard for so long. You don't want to retire. You don't have any money set aside. You can't just, go sit by the pond and hang out with your grandkids, and you don't want to be papa. You can't do that. You want to be out here telling, I don't want to say telling lies. I just want to say being inconsistent, saying things that don't make any sense. You don't want to just stop doing that for a while. But anyway, so here's what I'm referring to, speaking about Anthony Fauci. And if you're following Anthony Fauci, you will be completely lost in the sauce, because I don't think he knows exactly what's going on. He's a few trees short of a forest and a few crayons short of an entire 64 count box, if you catch my drift.
Dr. Fauci, let me broaden this out and ask you, here we are, it's the end of April, it's the spring of 2022. How close are we to the end of this pandemic?
Well, that's an unanswerable question for the following reason. And I don't want to be evasive about it, but let me tell you why I'm giving you that answer, Judy. We are certainly right now in this country out of the pandemic phase.
All right, so when's it going to be over? That's unanswerable. But we're out of the pandemic phase. So if we're out of the pandemic phase, then it's over with, right? I mean, I don't understand.
Namely, we don't have 900,000 new infections a day and tens and tens and tens of thousands of hospitalizations and thousands of deaths. We are at a low level right now. So if you're saying, are we out of the pandemic phase in this country? We are. What we hope to do, I don't believe, and I've spoken about this widely, we're not going to eradicate this virus. If we can keep that level very low and intermittently vaccinate people, and I don't know how often that would have to be, Judy. That might be every year, that might be longer, in order to keep that level low. But right now, we are not in the pandemic phase in this country. Pandemic means a widespread throughout the world infection that spreads rapidly among people. So if you look at the global situation, there's no doubt this pandemic is still ongoing.
Dr.
So it's still ongoing, but we're out of the pandemic phase, and it's unanswerable when it's ever going to come to an end. So we don't know when it's going to stop, but we're beyond the pandemic phase, and it's still happening around the world. And we probably got to get a shot every year like the flu to combat it. I mean, when you hear something like that, like what is the takeaway from that? What's the if you're watching or listening to Anthony Fauci trying to get some concrete answers, what do you come away with when you watch something like that? What's your takeaway? Confusion, Tower of Babel. Ultimately, we're pretty much finished with that particular. We're pretty much done with that particular thing, right? We're beyond all that, right? All right. So let me go ahead and get to my next thing here. And thank y'all for watching. Yet again, I appreciate y'all. If you like what you're hearing so far, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. All right. So what else we got? Oh, Terry Crews, my man. Terry Crews was so on point a couple years ago when he said what he said about the whole BLM thing. He was saying, hey man, this is kind of crazy. Matter of fact, hold on. I gotta pull up what he said. It's so unfortunate that he had to apologize. Matter of fact, hold on. Let's go ahead and just roll the apology right quick. If we can get some sound, let's do that.
I'm going to let you know, I really do want to apologize to anybody who was offended by these tweets and was hurt deeply.
Terry.
So that's the apology. And he said that on the Daily Show with Trevor Noah. I'm not really sure why he chose that particular format to come out and almost like start crying about his tweets from 2 years ago. Maybe it was just time and opportunity. I'm not sure what he's out here trying to promote. Is he trying to promote a book? Is he trying to promote a new TV show? Is he trying to revive his Hollywood career? I don't really know what's going on. But here are some of the tweets that he put out a couple years ago. Almost 2 years. It's like 23 months ago, pretty soon like that. So here's one of them. Defeating white supremacy without white people creates black supremacy. Equality is the truth. Like it or not, we are all in this together. I don't see what's wrong with that. If there's an actual white supremacist out there, I think everybody's going to condemn that person regardless of what color they are. And anybody, if you black, white, Puerto Rican, candy stripe, if you are a negative person, a bad person, somebody out here hurting people, killing people or whatever, they need to be condemned from society. That's how that should go, right? It shouldn't be, well, one race versus the other. It shouldn't be this race war type of thing going on, right? But anyway, here's the next one. If you are a child of God, you are my brother and sister. I have family of every race, creed, and ideology. We must ensure hashtag Black Lives Matter doesn't morph into Black Lives Better. And then another one. Any black person who calls me a COON, you guys know I can't actually say that word here because I get demonetized. They try to flag me. But anyway, any black person who calls me a COON or an Uncle Tom for promoting equality is a black supremacist, is what he wanted to say, because they have determined who's black and who is not. I don't see, I'm here, it's straight home runs. You're talking about, you know what I mean? Like you're pitching 100 miles an hour and cracking it straight into the water. You're berry bombs on the juice. You understand? Next one. Please know that everything I've said comes from a spirit of love and reconciliation for the black community first, then the world as a whole, in hopes to see a better future for black people. Now, I guess this was unacceptable. This was bigoted, racist, hateful, all this, that, and the third, right? So now you had to come out and apologize for those comments. And I said back then on one of those tweets, I commented, I was like, man, don't apologize. Do not apologize for what you're saying. Stay strong, stand on what you believe in. And 2 years later, he apologizes. Now, the question is why? What are you trying to actually promote? What's going on? It was so dumb, man. You should have just left that right there. But you know what? I think there could be a book out. There could be a new TV show out. But I think the main thing is that his career probably suffered really bad because of that. Because Hollywood, if you're saying stuff like that, that can really damage your career in a really big way. Just like that singer. I don't want to say her name and say the wrong name, but there was a black female singer and she sung a national anthem for Trump during the inauguration in 2016, right? It killed her career, killed it. Her whole idea was just to come out and sing, and it'd be unifying, it'd be good, it'd be something that can bring everybody together. That was the purpose of her going out there and singing. I mean, she was blacklisted from the music industry, had to come out and try to apologize and try to explain, but damage had been done. So it could be the same thing going on here with Terry Crews. But if you're in that kind of world, if you're in that kind of situation where how can I say, if you're in that world where everybody's super liberal, super woke and all that kind of stuff, you can't really say too much like that. You got to pretty much be on the same page as them. You got to be on the same page as the wokies, because if you're not on the same page with them, then they tend to excommunicate you because you're not really, you're not part of their club. And you might need to be a little bit different. You might need to be, do something else to get to where you want to go, but I won't go down that road because we got little babies watching. So I digress. The whole point is that it's unfortunate that he had to apologize. Nothing he said was wrong. It was not racist. It was not hateful. It was something that just made sense. It was common sense. But nowadays, common sense ain't too common. Common sense is offensive. Common sense is bigoted and hateful and racist and all the other obes and obits in this. All right? Oh, Chrisette Michelle. Thank you, Mary G. Chrisette Michelle. I almost said somebody else, so I'm glad you correct me on that one. That was a singer that got blacklisted because a singer for Trump at the inauguration. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find an article on that right quick as we're talking about it. Inauguration. Okay. Let me see. So here's what I'm saying right here. See, look, a black R&B artist hoped singing for Trump would build a bridge. It derailed her career instead. Chrisette Michelle singing to a nearly empty concert hall. She says she's finding a new path to happiness. This was 2019, so 3 years ago this happened. This article came out, but the inauguration was in 2017. So and I've not really heard much from her since then. And she's a good singer too. It's really unfortunate. But hey, that's kind of what happens in the music industry and entertainment, Hollywood, California. That's what goes on. But when you sign up for that kind of life, you gotta kind of understand what comes with it. You got to understand what comes with it. Just like the whole Machine Gun Kelly thing. You guys may have seen that. Machine Gun Kelly. If you put a gun to my head and say, hey, ABL, give me your top 3 Machine Gun Kelly tracks, man, I'd be dead as a doornail. You understand what I'm saying? I'd be sleeping with the fishes. Just go ahead and bury me as a G, Tupac style. You understand? Because I ain't going to know a song. But anyway, Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox, I think her name is. I know who that is. She was in the Transformers movies. She was talking about how they drink each other's blood as some kind of ritual. Stuff like that you would hear about like on some of these documentaries. Remember the Zeitgeist back in the day? If right around my age, you hear some of the stuff that goes on, but it might just kind of be a conspiracy theory, not really real. But then when they come out on TV and say, yeah, I drink her blood, she drinks my blood, it's part of her ritual, and we got to do it, then it's like, oh, well, that's Hollywood for you right there. And we saw the whole thing with Lady Gaga and Marina Abramovich, the what was that? The spirit cooking, soul cooking, or whatever that was. Remember that? So these kind of things happen. And if you're going to be in that world, expect to run across stuff like that. Me personally, I like the normie life, being a plumber or a firefighter or something like that. That's the wave. Most of them come across being a plumber is somebody got a messed up toilet or some pipes done burst. But beyond that, I'm not going to be dealing with no ridiculous Hollywood industry type stuff. I could pretty much live my life like normal. I can wear my Trump flags and everybody's cool. Anybody going to be offended? But you go to Los Angeles and put out an iPhone 12 when the iPhone 13 is out, you're going to get you can get removed from your social group for having the old phone in Los Angeles. So trying to support Trump, oh no, man, you might as well just go ahead and skydive from the Empire State Building. No parachute. All right, but let me go ahead and keep on. Was it spirit cooking? Was that what it was? That was crazy. Oh, and Alex Jones is right yet again. Hold on. Ocean Breeze Salty says, quote, literal vampire pot-bellied goblins are hobbling around coming after us. Well, yeah, I mean, literal vampires, that's Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly, 100%. Yeah, tell me someone's only a few drops. I'm not like, well, I mean, whenever I see vampires on television, they're not just, throwing back blood like it's a beer in a bar, like it's a keg of beer. They're not doing no keg stand with blood in it. They're just biting them, and then this is a little bit of blood. That's a whole vampire. We got real life vampires in the music industry, and we're surprised when people get blacklisted for supporting Trump or for being conservative. Why would you not be? Why would you be surprised? Why would you think anything else would come as a result of being in that world? But I digress. I'm going down the rabbit hole right now. I'm deep in the rabbit hole. I got my binoculars and my lights and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and digress. My whole point of that particular rabbit hole was to say that Terry Crews shouldn't have apologized. However, I understand why, because he's in the Hollywood industry. He doesn't do anything else as far as I know. So he has to keep on working. And if you want to keep on working in that particular field, you have to try to make right. But one thing about it, as I say before I move on to the next topic, one thing about it is when you apologize to these people, it's never enough. Kevin Hart had to face that when he had some anti-LGBTQ tweets. They came at him. He had to apologize and put on a dress, all type of stuff. The Baby, the rapper, he apologized 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, going to speak to all these different people. He went on the whole apology tour. But it'd never be enough, because anytime something happens with the Baby, anytime there's any kind of controversy, they're going to highlight it to the max because of what he did previously. They're not going to forget. You still keep your career to a certain extent, but you're not going to be as big as what you could have been. And whenever they say jump, you got to say how high. You got to say how high because they got you now, because you already apologized and you have told them in so many ways you'll submit to them and whatever they want you to do. But again, way too deep for 8:38 p.m. on a Saturday night, so I'll digress. Thank y'all again for being here. Definitely appreciate y'all. If you like what you're hearing so far, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Now, let's speak about the Ministry of Truth. Mini True. So, if you ever read 1984, George Orwell, Ministry of Truth was exactly what they're talking about right now with the Disinformation Governance Board, headed up by the Department of Homeland Security. That's a real thing. So the DHS, what they're going to do is monitor tweets, Facebook posts, Instagram posts. And if you say anything that, I guess, misinformation or what, they're going to try to weed that out. Now, I don't understand why the federales are involved. Well, I do understand why. But the reason is not necessarily it's not laid out perfectly from them. All we could do is just guess. And I think we have a pretty good reason. We have a pretty good idea of why they're doing this from the federal level. You see, these social media companies have their own moderation. They're able to weed out certain stuff, any kind of spam or whatnot. They're able to weed it out. And beyond that, beyond social media moderation from the company themselves, we're human beings, right? We're able to understand when a thing looks kind of fishy or might not be real. We were all taught, or at least we should have been from a young age, don't believe whatever you see on the internet, research, see if it's the real deal or not. It's just like if you were in the grocery store and you go to the checkout and you see the National Enquirer, or back in the day, that's how it was. When I was a little boy, you see the National Enquirer, and there was always a headline talking about they done found Elvis, They got aliens, all this, that, and the third. And I had to get told by my mom from her early age, like, hey, that's not a real thing. It's just entertainment, right? It's just entertainment. It's not really real. Like if I got on here and said, hey, man, you know what? They found Madonna flying in the air with vampire bat wings on her. Are you really going to believe that? You might second guess it for a moment. Like, okay, Madonna, vampire wings. That's plausible. That's possible. Maybe he's right. But you're going to automatically think that's not true. And if you think that it could be, you're going to research and figure it out for yourself. You don't need Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube to explain that to you. It's like when you see any kind of video about climate change on YouTube, or if climate change is mentioned in the video or in the headline or in the description at all, the tags, they're going to have some kind of little thing that says like a Wikipedia article about climate change. It's like, I didn't really need that. I can use the internet as well and find an article about climate change if I want that. But they may want to do that from this particular board. What they say? Disinformation Governance Board. And they're also doing exactly what I said they do all the time, which is using the federales to control social media. Okay. I got to give Twitter a little bit of credit because Twitter is really the best social media platform of its type. You know, you have other social media platforms that are like it, Truth Social, Gab, Parler, etc. Twitter is the best. Period. The, best usability, availability, the best app, features, reach, it's the best. Is it flawed? Yes, it is, 100%. From the content moderation, from the censorship. But my question would be, how much of that censorship and content moderation comes from Twitter itself and their employees, and how much comes from the federales putting pressure on them? Because we've seen some of these heads of the social media companies go to Congress and testify. We've seen them get grilled by people. We've seen that on both sides, left and right. Mostly it's the right talking about censorship, left talking about, well, why didn't you talk about this person, that person, and censor them? But we see how they get pressured by the federal government. And I think the government pressured them on the whole Joe Biden, Hunter Biden thing, because Joe Biden was trying to become the president at that time. It was an October surprise that came out that it didn't want to come out. New York Post put it out, reputable news organization, been around 200 years, and they put the kibosh on that on a social media level, probably because of the federales getting in their ear. Hey, man, you like your tax exempt status or whatever you got going on. You like not being able to pay $1 billion in fines. You like being able to have your platform status rather than a publisher, so you won't get sued by anybody for putting out stuff, for putting out killing videos or defamatory statements. All right, check it out. Remove that article about Hunter Biden. Remove that right now. In my mind, that's probably what went down. Okay, so it's probably more pressure from the federal government on social media platforms to censor more than it is internal employees. They're going to do it as well, obviously, because they're mostly liberal, 99% liberal, and they're going to hate on us if we're conservative. We know that already. But we also saw the IRS target conservatives. Yes, we did see that. The IRS, the federales, targeted conservative organizations. Matter of fact, let me put the article up right quick. IRS targeted. So the question is, are these the same people? The people that targeted conservatives from the IRS and those that are pressuring social media companies to censor us? I mean, what's going on? Matter of fact, here it is. Article from NPR. They apologize and everything. Like one thing about me, if you have watched me at all, I always going through with the sources and the context and the proof. I always got the receipts. I got receipts on deck. All right. So here it is right here. This is October 2017. IRS apologizes for aggressive scrutiny of conservative groups. It's NPR. They apologize for targeting conservative groups with audits and things of that nature, right? Hold on. In a legal settlement that still awaits a federal judge's approval, the IRS expresses its sincere apology. They apologize for mistreating a conservative organization called Lynchpins of Liberty, along with 40 other conservative groups and their applications for tax exempt status. Okay. So there was a lot more to it than that. People were getting targeted for audits and all types of stuff. So you think those people that were doing that are just gone from the government? They're not there anymore. They're not in DC anymore. They're not floating around. Of course they're floating around. Of course they are. Right? Yes, they are. So now we have this whole thing, mini true. What they say? Department. Okay, it's the Disinformation Governance Board. The dumbest, the dumbest name. Right? Oh, and the person who's going to lead up this organization that may potentially have legal action against you, because again, this is the federales. This is going to be the Department of Homeland Security that is above all this. They should be focused on the border, right? We got a border crisis happening right now. What they say, they're going to have 18,000 illegal aliens coming across the border per day. 18,000. You know how many that is per day? That's probably a low number too, but anyway. And that's not even talking about the drugs and the guns and the human trafficking, all that kind of stuff. We ain't talking about all of that. The slaves, the literal slaves coming across. If you ever see a Chinese massage parlor get go on the news and it's like 4, 8, 10 women on there, middle-aged, Chinese, don't speak no English, you already know what it is. They were slaves, literal slaves that got brought to the country to work as slaves to pay off a debt. Okay, so that's going on. Oh, it's no big deal. We're worried about intersectionality and justice and queer folks and folks of color. But these Chinese slaves coming across, the fentanyl coming across, the guns coming across, it's like whatever, right? Dirty money coming across, getting washed, we ain't worried about that. But anyway, so there's going to be a particular person who heads up this organization, Disinformation Governance Board. And if you guys have not seen this person, they are a performer. They are a performer. And we're going to play some of their performance right now. And I'm going to pull it up. If you guys have seen it, you already know. But let me go ahead and get to my IG. It's on my IG. I was trying to find a Twitter one, but let's go to IG and do it that way. Yeah, we'll be able to see kind of what's going on a little bit better that way. So if you are prone to cringe, I'm sorry, it's not my fault. Please blame the white man. But we're going to go ahead and put this on the screen. All right.
Is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet. So disinformation's origins are slightly less atrocious. It's how you hide a little lie. It's how you hide a little lie. It's how you hide a little lie. When Rudy Giuliani shared bad intel from Ukraine, or when TikTok influencers say COVID can cause pain, they're laundering disinfo and we really should take note and not support their lies with our wallet, voice or vote. Oh, information laundering is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet. So disinformation's origin seems slightly less atrocious.
So this person, her name is Nina Jankowicz, Ukrainian Slavic anyway. Her name is Nina Jankowicz, and she's going to be the head of the Disinformation Governance Board. So she'll be the one responsible for, I don't know, your social credit score. And if you put out a meme about Kamala Harris that's too spicy, she might be the one that's in charge of making sure that you face the appropriate punishment. Now, do you think that she has the stability to be a leader of such an organization? Will she be biased at all? Did you hear anything in that particular Mary Poppins tune that speaks to bias, that speaks to not being fair? Okay. I'm not making this up. Look her up. Nina Jankowicz. That's Jank, like Jankowiz. And this is from her TikTok page. And she got a TikTok full of stuff. I think it's on private now, but she's got a bunch of videos like this. All right. Certified cat farmer. All right. If they put out a great level for cat farmer, she'd be an A++ cat farmer. You can get the best cats in the world. You can get the Persians, the Arabians, the hairless, whatever you want. She got them in the crib, right? All right. So yeah, that's what's going on right now under the Biden administration. How is he going to actually succeed? This is World War II Germany. This is what's happening right now. Somebody said it. Globals, yeah, 100%. You know, and it's funny to hear them talk about the right being the Nazis and all this kind of stuff, but it's just projection. They are what they say we are. It's not us, it's them. It is not us, it is them. Right. So, yeah, how is that really going to work? Hopefully this thing does not really go far. And if they implement it, the next guy's going to have to dismantle it. So it'll be around for a little while, maybe 2 years or something like that. But hopefully, I hope nobody gets locked up behind posting a Kamala Harris meme. You know, because I'm gonna post the memes. One thing I'm going to do is post memes. That's like that's a part-time job of mine. I don't even get. I'm a volunteer meme poster. You understand? That's what I do. So hopefully they don't try to get me hemmed up behind no memes. Matter of fact, I got a couple on my show right quick before we continue. Shout out to Elon Musk. I mean, I like what Elon is doing. Is Elon a perfect person? Does he have some flaws? No, he's not perfect. Yes, he does have flaws, 100%. I mean, there's some things that are going on that I don't really agree with as far as what he does. But I like the energy he's bringing. I like him trolling people like AOC. I like some things that he's posting. I got a few things I'm going to post right quick from Elon to AOC. Hold on one second. I'm going to post that the troll he did to AOC in a tweet, and then I'm going to post some memes. Hold on one second here. Oh, it's perfect. There we go. We got a screenshot. All righty. So here's the Elon troll to AOC. So her tweet says, tired of having to collectively stress about what explosion of hate crimes is happening because some billionaire with an ego problem unilaterally controls a massive communication platform and skews it because Tucker Carlson or Peter Thiel took him to dinner and made him feel special. Now, this appears to be about Elon Musk, right? So here he is. Stop hitting on me. I'm really shy with the little, the blushing emoji, right? And then she says, well, I was talking about Zuckerberg, but okay. So, I mean, I like stuff like this. I like the trolling. I like the engaging, the back and forth. That's what I want to see from the CEO, or not the CEO, pardon me, the owner of Twitter. And of course, it got memed. Right, hold on. Here's a meme right there. So here's the famous one of her crying at the fence. And this whole thing was crazy. I'll talk about that in a minute. But you see her crying at the fence, and then it's like a sign right there. It says, stop hitting on me, I'm shy. It's like a sign of the actual tweet that she's crying in front of. Shout out to Grand Old Memes for this particular meme. Hey, Grand Old Memes, man. If we get locked up in the gulag, hey, I'm going to try to get some canteen, and we're going to be all right, man. We're going to be just fine in the gulag if you get arrested for posting these dank memes. But yeah, shout out to this meme right here. And here's one that he posted. This is not necessarily a meme, but it just makes sense, right? Now, this is what a lot of people are facing, or they have faced over the past few years as far as politics, right? You see the top where it says 2008, the left, right, center, and you see where the people are standing. You got one person on the right, on the, I guess you would say, far end of it, who's conservative, labeled as much. Then there's a center, and then the left, you see somebody standing close to the center, but not quite on the center, but close to the center on the left. And the person, it says me on top. And then next to them, close to the far left, it says my fellow liberal. But then the left keep pushing the center further away from where it was. The center is now skewed because it keep broadening definitions. So prime example of this right here would be when you have these people like AOC come in and talking about, okay, we want unlimited minimum wage. We want LGBTQ stuff, talk to children. We want drag queen story time, talk to babies. We want all this crazy stuff. Abortion on demand, post-birth abortion. It moves the left's very, very far to the left, but the conservative person has been in the same spot. The liberal, the regular normie, been in the same spot. So now the center passes the liberal person. Now they're on the right, but they're still standing in the same place. Okay. And the far left person is saying they're woke progressive. And if you are over there where you were the whole time, you're a bigot now because you've not followed them over to the very far left. And then the conservative is seen as a far right person. But in reality, just a regular normie, the same as the person who was a fellow liberal just 2008. Barack Obama was not talking about all this ridiculous woke stuff until more recently. But here we are. Yeah, somebody said it right there. The guy in the middle is Elon. I agree with that. That's probably what's going on. A lot of guys like that. I think maybe even the Bill Maher is the same way. Bill Maher, Joe Rogan, a lot of these guys. That's why I like them, because they're just like normies. I don't agree with their politics 100%, obviously, because they still, in my mind, are liberal. But in today's day and age, they're seen as conservative because of how far the center has moved to the left, how broad we've become with the political spectrum. But people, the regular normies, aren't really involved in how broad the spectrum is. They're just still where they are, where they've been the whole time. Right? That's kind of what's going on with that. But yeah, shout out to Elon Musk and shout out to all the dank memes. Yeah, I'm going to keep posting them. All right, I'm going to keep on posting them. Hold on. Boomhauer says, when I was a normie, I thought a conservative was a person who dressed very clean and nerdy. Well, I try to be clean and nerdy a little bit. You know what I mean? I try not to be too slovenly, but that's a good thing, though. So shout out to all the clean and tidy conservatives out there. All right. Okay, let's not play that no more. Let's not play that no more. I tortured you enough with that particular thing right there. All right. So yeah, Ministry of Truth, also known as Disinformation Governance Board, not good at all. And I think that if they go through with it and implement it, it'll get dismantled in the next administration, just in 2 years. Yeah, right away. Matter of fact, I think that'll be a campaign talking point right there. It's like, you want to be able to talk, you want to be able to have open communication. All right, vote for me. And it really wouldn't be a hard sell at all. And thank you for being here yet again. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you enjoy what you are hearing thus far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. All right, that gets everything I wanted to get to. Spoke about Terry Crews, say Steele. Oh, BuzzFeed's list. Okay, did you guys see that list? The 21 things, the 21 unwritten rules for Black people. Wow. I'm not going to go through all these, of course, but this is a list. So, okay, just briefly, we're not, like I said, we won't go through the whole thing. I did a whole podcast basically on this earlier. You know, like almost a half hour, I was talking straight because it was really on my chest. But I'm going to just say this about this particular list, right, on BuzzFeed. And again, I did a video today. Go to my website, the article's on there. Or, matter of fact, let's go to the video. I don't think I did an article about this one. But there was a particular article BuzzFeed wrote about the things that people of color, the certain unwritten rules people of color must follow. But that could be anybody. All that means is non-white. They got so fancy with these terms. You know, first it was colored people. Then it was people of color. Like they had color or it was color and white, then white and non-white. Now it's just people of color. That means non-white. But anyway, I digress. The first list for people of color exclusively, things that they do. I don't know what it is. You got to put, Goya in your beans. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, then Black folks said, oh, we want something for us too. And one thing about these lists that I've always noticed, and these kind of things on the internet, a lot of people talking about their grievances and complaints are more well-to-do Black people. And there ain't nothing wrong with that at all. But I feel like some well-to-do Black folks are the equivalent of white liberals. They're the same. The guilty white liberals. If you are an affluent person, don't feel guilty. You got to where you are for whatever the reason may be. Okay? Whether you had parents that were on point, whether you were on point or both. Don't feel guilty about that, and don't project your guilt onto us. I don't really care how you got to where you at. Don't be guilty. You see, but it's a lot of that going on. White guilt, black guilt, all kind of guilt, because they think that they are above the general population, and it may be, but they feel like they got to give back and they got to do something to rectify that situation. Don't do anything. The more you do, the more, things don't go the way they should. You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, so this list is so silly. Talking about, one thing I wanted to, there was quite a few things in this list. Like I said, I'm not going to go through everything. About being pulled over. Like, there were quite a few things in this list about being pulled over specifically. And I don't understand that. I don't get it. I mean, I've not been pulled over in years. Not since I've been a young man, like maybe 25, I think. Okay, I got pulled over. The last time I got pulled over, it was at a checkpoint. So I think where I was in Virginia. I was in Portsmouth, Virginia. I probably was about 25, 26. Yep. Because I still had my, at the time I had a 4Runner. So no older than 28. I had to have been probably about 26. But anyway, I'm in Portsmouth on High Street. And on High Street, they had bars and stuff downtown. I don't drink, but people that come from the bars, they go down High Street, they go back to Deep Creek, all that kind of stuff. So there was a checkpoint right there for drunk drivers. I got pulled over in the checkpoint, because everybody got pulled over in the checkpoint, but I had a expired tag. Matter of fact, I had a bad registration. I got a ticket for that, and that was it. And I fixed my registration, and that was all. It wasn't no problem. And the cops were super nice. He was like, "Hey man, go ahead and get it fixed. You don't got to come to court." Blah blah blah. It was that. And aside from that, I got pulled over before that for speeding. I got pulled for speeding one time in my life. And I was young. I was like 18 when I got pulled over for speeding. And I was in Chesapeake. I was on Volvo Parkway or Eaton Way, one of those, right by where I used to live. And I was going 45 and a 35. And the cop gave me an out, but I'm too young. I don't understand. He was like, "Well, do you know how fast you were going? Do you know how fast you were going?" I didn't catch on. I was like, "Yeah." Because I ain't going to lie to the cop, right? But I thought they said, "Oh, no, man, I didn't know. I probably would have got a warning." He was a black cop, super cool, gave me a ticket, and that was it. I've not been pulled for speeding in the past almost 20 years. And I speed, though. Like, not all the time. If you're watching this, kids, don't speed. Don't drive crazy. But hey, man, I like my truck. I got an 8-cylinder. So if it's a little straightaway, I'm going to go ahead and push it. It's Tokyo Drift, man. We're talking about Fast and Furious. Right? If I'm in Atlanta on 400, I'm going. Bang! I don't get pulled over. Why? I'm not in the car smoking weed, drinking, all that dumb stuff. Loud, ridiculous music, bad tags, bad lights. I don't do all that stuff. My car is always on point. It's always clean. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. So I don't understand this whole thing about getting pulled over all the time. There were quite a few things in there about that. But I will say one thing I was told, because when I was probably about 2021, my dad put me on to an insurance agent for State Farm to get car insurance, to get a better rate on my insurance. Black dude again in Portsmouth, downtown, matter of fact. And I went to his office, got the rates, and got my insurance for years. I had him. Shout out to you, man, if you're watching. But he gave me a tip. He gave me this plastic slip. It was like something about this size. But so he gave me the plastic slip. He was like, "Hey, man, put registration, proof of insurance, and whatnot in here and leave it in your glove box. So when you get pulled over, all you got to do is get an officer that. Boom." And I did that one time. And the cop was like, "Hey, man, you prepared, ain't you? You ready for whatever?" Because I had everything together. I had that in the slip. Took my license out, put the license in there. Nice neat little package for the cop. "Hey, man, take that. You good." That's it. And that was all. And I probably got a warning for that, for the getting pulled over at that point. But I don't understand people get pulled over so much. And now I've been all over the country. I've been West Coast, East Coast, down south, up north. I'm from Virginia, and Virginia is notorious for being pulled over. Oh, man. In VA, like, I've been on 58. I've been on 460. I've been on, 81? Everywhere. 64, 264, 564, 460, everywhere. Norfolk, Portsmouth, Chesapeake, Pungo, Hickory, Deep Creek. I don't get it. In VA, you're notorious for getting pulled over. What they say in Virginia, come on vacation, leave on probation. It's like that in Virginia. You go to Emporia and all them kind of places. They design these little towns to trap you up, to get you pulled over, because they raise money like that. It's not even about being racist. It's about giving you a ticket, so you got to pay it through the online portal so they can raise money. I still don't get pulled over in them places. And like I said, I'm pushing that truck like it's a ricer, a whole Honda Civic with nitrous on it. I'm pushing it heavy. I don't get it. I think people just are scared of the police for no reason. So when they get pulled over, it's like this anxiety that comes across them. I'm not scared. What am I scared for? I'm not in here smoking crack or meth or weed or nothing like that. I don't do no drugs. I don't drink. I don't have no open container. I don't have any kind of... I done had guns in my car. Everything's legal. It's no problem. I don't really understand. But anyway, there were quite a few things in there about that. I think people are just afraid because of what they hear on television, or, just from people. They hear about these horror stories, people getting pulled over and losing their life, but they don't talk about the whole thing where somebody was fighting the police. They done had guns and they were shooting at the cops. Just like what happened in Virginia Beach with that hitman that shot the cops from his car. So that car got pulled over in a 7-Eleven parking lot, and it wound up the guy and his girlfriend got killed, but it was the guy's fault. The guy was a paid hitman. He had already killed not one, but 2 black people in Virginia, including an innocent man that was not involved in no dope game. He was outside, got cuffy, RIP. He was standing outside waiting for his daughter to take her to work. The guy was trying to kill somebody. He missed his target and was upset. And since guy was right there, he shot him and killed him. Shot him and killed him for no reason, just because he was mad. So that guy was being pulled by the cops, about to be arrested. He decides, you know what, I ain't going to jail. So he has guns on the floor of his vehicle, a mini tech and something else. He puts his feet up against the car door. He's in the passenger side, and his girl is driving, Bonnie and Clyde type stuff. He puts his feet against the actual car door and begins to shoot out of the car. And his back is up against the girl. So when the cops shoot him, because he's shooting at the cops first, of course, she gets hit because she's right there, and she dies. And there was a infant in the car, and the baby was totally fine. The baby didn't get hit. Baby was rescued by the cops. So when you hear a story like that, people that come from more affluent areas that don't understand the streets at all, or are very guilty, they internalize that and think that they're going to get shot like he got shot. But it's like, hey, man, if you're not running around as a murderer, a hitman for hire, who had already killed people, and you're not trying to shoot the cops, you probably won't get hit. Just like my man, the DC sniper, killed like 18 people in Northern Virginia, DC, Maryland, and was taken into custody without any kind of problems. He didn't resist. This is a whole guy who had killed dozens of people. I don't get it. Moral of the story is, don't be so scary and weird. Just be normal. Be normal and understand that some things that are on this list, talking about getting on elevators and sundown towns and jogging, it's just, you got to have common courtesy for your fellow men, regardless of what color you are. It's not race specific. Not at all. Not in the least bit. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find one right here I can talk about, and then I move on to the next thing. Oh yeah, here's one I wanted to talk about. As a black man, if there's a white woman in line, you stand back far enough so you cannot touch her by mistake or be accused of touching her. I mean, that one I agree with, but take their race out. Because is it okay to touch somebody if they're not white? So if she black, is it okay to touch her? No, it's not. So just keep your distance. Like if I'm in line I need you to back. Just back. Like, an example would be, you could be in line with you and a young lady, your significant other, your wife, your girlfriend, or whatever, and then it'd be a guy that's in line trying to be funny, and he's like right up on her. Now, I'm gonna approach it calm at first. I'm not trying to just bug out, put my blade on you and just stick you, but I'm gonna just go ahead and assert myself around her to let this dude know you can't be too close. Now, if he still wants to kind of be close like that, and he don't really recognize, if he don't recognize my presence, then I'm gonna have to go and be like, okay, sir, I need you to back up, or we gonna fight. It is what it is. Give the lady some room. Give a man some room too, because I'm not trying to have your beard be touching the back of my neck. I'm not trying to have your prickly stubble all on my base of my cranium. I don't want that to happen. So give me a little bit of space. Not 6 feet, not no virus space, but don't be, like a pack of sardines in the line. Give me some room. Okay, how about that? So yeah, some of these things are just basic rules that people should follow in a good society, not some things you got to do because you're black or any other particular race. Oh, one more thing I wanted to say. There were quite a few things in here talking about people that were followed in stores. Here's one. Knowing that I'll be followed when shopping in high-end stores, I have product-related questions prepared for when they invariably ask me if I need assistance. Replying with, no, thank you, I'm just browsing, makes their suspicion jump, and suddenly I have an unofficial entourage. I'm a college-educated black man about to turn 40, but I still have to play these sorts of silly games. It can be very exhausting. I mean, if that's happening to you, then why shop there? I don't understand. You go into a high-end store for what, though? This is what I wear. I could be wearing Gucci, Louis, all that kind of stuff, but for what, though? You know what I mean? Why? I don't. And if I go to the store and I get bad service, I don't care if it's high-end, low-end, medium-end, regular-end. I'm not going to go there anymore. If I go to a Chinese food store where you can get a whole dinner for a family of 4 for $5, and the lady in the background is talking too much, loud in her language, looking at me, I'm like, all right, this is not. I don't feel very welcome. I'm gonna take my $5 and 50-cent tip. I'm gonna put in a little container right there on the counter. I'm gonna take that and go to the next spot across the way. No more happy-go-lucky buffet. No more happy buffet for me. I'm gonna go across the street to China Walk and have that be that, right? That should be the way it is, rather than crying and complaining about a store. I saw the rapper Jim Jones do that, crying about the store he's in, not getting good service or what he wants to be good service, but still being in there trying to buy stuff. If I'm not getting good service, you're not getting my money. That's how it is. If I go to a restaurant and there's bad service, the waitress is not paying us attention or whatever, I'll give you a tip, but it won't be a good tip because you didn't do a good job. I won't stiff you totally because I'm not that kind of person, but you won't get a good tip. You would get a very good tip, way above and beyond the Call of Duty if you do a very good job. I pay for performance, not just because they think I should. But anyway. All right, but what else we got going on? Did I get to everything I wanted to get to? So yeah, shout out to the 21 unwritten rules for black people on Buzzfeed. I'm not going to be following those if they're race specific, because it's not even like that. I just try to be a good human being, treat everybody with respect, and have that be that, right? Have that be that. Oh, Melissa says I've gotten followed at Walmart. That's nuts. Walmart. It's like, Walmart. Why are you following me at Walmart? It's like, ma'am, I have in my basket, I have a box of oatmeal, a candle, and some Axe spray. What are you following me for? If I steal this, it won't make a difference. Okay, it won't even matter. That's crazy. But I mean, I understand they gotta make money too. I've seen some crazy things inside the little lockers they have, deodorant and whatnot. If you go to a hood Walmart, you see all kind of stuff in the lockers that they don't want you to steal. Hair products, Tide Pods, just dumb stuff. All right. I'm glad the Tide Pod trend is over with. You can go get Tide Pods right now without having to get a manager to come over there and get it for you. All right. But we got quite a few things on deck. There was one more I wanted to get to. One more. I think I got everything I wanted to get to. Okay. So thank you for being here yet again. Definitely appreciate you. You're going to get super chats right here. And then we get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. And let's go ahead and get super chats here. Thank you to Apple, who says, Angela Mastrangelo of Breitbart reported on April 18th that Viola Davis says that she had to act like the white's ideal black woman. Viola's won the Tony and Emmy and the Oscar for her acting. Comments, ABL? I think she's referring to not having this rough and masculine attitude because she's a masculine woman. It is what it is. Now, in Hollywood, you are able to play certain roles that require you to be a masculine woman. And prime example is her playing Michelle Obama. Okay, Michelle Obama, whatever you think, she's masculine. It is what it is. Obama's more feminine. She's more masculine. If it works, if they like it, I love it. I'm not hating on a relationship. That's just what it is. Okay. Now, me, I'm not trying to be arm wrestling or doing no Brazilian jiu-jitsu with my young lady, but if they're cool with it, I'm cool with it. She can play characters like that because of her disposition. So she probably needed to be a little bit more feminine. That was also a thing in that list of unwritten rules for black people. A lot of black women complaining about having to be more soft and not as combative and aggressive. But most people don't like combative and aggressive women. The same way they probably don't like soft and weak men. You see what I'm saying? It's okay to be soft and feminine if you're a woman, but if you're a man, not so much. Typically, it's not about hating on somebody because of their sexuality, because you could be a gay male and be masculine, if that makes any sense. But it's just when men can't do things, when you can't use a screwdriver, you can't change a light bulb or basic stuff like that, you're seen as weak. But if you're a woman, a man will jump and do that for you. It's a natural balance. And when it gets kind of disrupted, people are like, I'm not a fan of what's going on here. All right. Thank you to Apple, who says, by the way, Viola's net worth is $25 million. Hey, must be nice to be worth so much, but to be so to be so oppressed at the same time. Apple also says, God bless J6 MAGA Patriots in DC jail solitary. Also, he says, Patriot Freedom Project, please consider donating. Defund the DHS, especially the new Ministry of Truth. Also, you see Rep. Chip Roy interrogate Mayorkas, fireworks. I didn't see all of that, but I saw some of it. Thank you to Hudson Jackson II, who says, Ministry of Truth is more like Ministry of Cap. Thank you to Apple, who says, please play video Nina Jankiewicz sing Mary Poppins. Yeah, I already got you on that one, boss. She's Biden's Minister of Truth. She's the epitome of the AWFLs, affluent white female liberals. I'm going to use that one. Awful, the epitome of awfuls, affluent white female liberals. Love it. I'm taking that one from you, Apu. Awfuls worship government as God, Obama as Messiah. Facts. Big facts. That's why Sage Steele was suspended, because of her Barack Obama comments, because they praise him like he's Jesus Christ. He's their Jesus. They're typically a religious atheist, don't believe in anything at all. I believe in God, but I'm not really religious. But they don't believe in God at all. But Barack Obama has become their God. All right, that's what's going on with that. Apple also says, ABL, why are rhinos so powerful? Why are Mitch McConnell and Kevin McCarthy the leaders when they don't represent the base? Don't believe in America first? Good question. Also, he said, Kentucky Republicans, vote out McConnell, please. ABL, you decide on a car yet? Benz, Beamer, Vet. So I was thinking about getting like a regular, not a normie car, but a fast car. It's not a truck, because I'm that truck is like I'm pushing it to the limit. I'm pushing. It's like I could do Tokyo. I can do donuts in that truck, but that might be kind of a hazard. I ain't trying to roll over in my truck. So I may do like I may rent or lease a car just for fun. I really enjoy driving a lot. Beth Marie Evans says, I said months ago, Ted Cruz is a Bush Republican, 100% establishment. The Union Party is not acceptable. Also, Apple says, favorite peanut butter and jam for peanut butter jelly sandwiches. You like Nutella? Nutella is not delicious, disgusting. I do not like Nutella at all. So X that one out. If it's peanut butter, it's got to be crunchy with like, I prefer like Virginia blanched peanuts in it, crunchy peanut butter, and like strawberry reserves on some brioche bread. That perfect. That right there is hitting on all cylinders. Anyway, F8 Ranger Xbox says, I wonder how many in government did consider the insider trading on the vaccines before the mandates. Probably quite a few because they saw it coming. Apple also says favorite game show, Price is Right, Family Feud, Jeopardy, definitely out of all of those. Yeah, I like being able to answer those questions. I might want to go on Jeopardy one day if I could study for it and pass the test. I like to go on Jeopardy. Also, ABL abolish 1, property tax, income tax, sales tax. Federal income tax. That's the biggest one. Yeah, federal income tax. Property tax and sales tax ain't that bad, but federal income tax has got to go. I mean, what are they doing? What are they doing with the money? Wasting it? Sending it to Ukraine? I mean, why does Ukraine need my money? For what? That's not my problem. I'm not a Ukrainian. I don't care about what they got going on. I mean, rephrase. If you have an innocent person who has lost their life, I feel for them and prayers out to the family. But is that my problem? Would Ukraine donate to anybody in America if we got something going on? I don't think so. So why is it the other way around? If there's a conflict, let them handle it on their own. Also, ABL, you see Biden shaking hands with a ghost. What's up? I saw that. Man, he's too old. He's losing. He's rapidly deteriorating at this point. And it's really unfortunate to see what's going on, but it is what it is. Also, ABL Biden started by Easter Bunny comments. Yeah, that was crazy, man. I mean, the guy's not there. It is what it is. Zorada84 says, ABL, who would you say out-pimps the black pastor? Wow, that's a deep question. Who out-pimps the black pastor? The black politician? It's the same thing as a black pastor. I've seen it in action. The black politician. If you ever seen The Wire, Mayor Clay Davis, oh my goodness, worse than the dope boy and the pastor combined, because he has political power and you can't do nothing to him. You can't do nothing to him. I kind of want to play a clip, but they're going to strike me. But one thing about Clay Davis, what he did was he was talking to Stringer Bell, one of the dope boys, I don't want to say dope boy, one of the leaders of the drug organization. And Stringer was trying to become legitimate, trying to go to class and read and trying to buy real estate, all kind of stuff, right? Trying to make the dirty money clean. Laundering money, but it is what it is. So Clay Davis is talking to him and hyping him up and just, leading him along, knowing that he could just do whatever he wants. He can scam him because he can't touch him. What you going to do? Kill a state senator and go to the federal penitentiary forever for your whole life? You're going to have all the state's resources come down on that block in East Baltimore, all right, or West Baltimore, wherever they were. You're not going to touch them. You can't call the police. What you going to do? Nothing. Nothing at all. So, yeah, the politician is the absolute worst. 1,000%. Because they got that actual political power. They can use that against you or for their own best interests or both. All right. So let's go to the next one. Leo Mazzina says that clip of Joe Biden and many others sounds like Jackie Gleason on The Honeymooners and the episode where he went on that game show. I think Hunter Jackson II, who says 2 weeks ago, we started to spread allegedly 2 years to trash the economy. Someone at the NIH should have been fired a long time ago. Fire the whole organization. Throw the whole organization away. Thank you to Noob Welder, who says, happy Saturday. Thank you to that. Jordan84 says, ABL, would you rate the white liberal as the worst? I think the white liberal and the black liberal are almost on the same page, but the white liberal is worse as a conglomerate because there's more of them. They can form and get a lot more dangerous things done. You know, the white liberal is behind the rise of Black Lives Matter. Although they didn't start it, they're behind the rise of it, because when you go to the cities all over the country and you see who's out there in the protests and who's donating, it's white liberals. So they are the worst because of their numbers. But as far as individually, the white and black liberal are on the same page, in my humble opinion. Genesis Kingsword says, ABL is unstoppable. Thank you for that. Thank you to Joy84, who says, ABL, are you a fan of George Carlin? Of course I am. Big fan of George Carlin. Thank you to Raymond for becoming an ABL supporter. Again, thank you to James Morris for the laughing or the scared emoji. Thank you to Leo Mazzino, who says, can these liberal and rhino politicians read the Constitution and Declaration of Independence? Maybe they'll read it one day, but it might not be something that has any use to them. Thank you to Blast Radius, who says, how are the feds getting away with setting up this board? This is clearly against First Amendment. These people are criminals setting this up. Yes, they are. Thank you to Sam Uri, who says, that B is grade A bat S. I'm with you. Thank you to Beth Marie, who says, oops, hold on. She says, oops, you said Terry Crews, not Ted Cruz. But my prior chat still stands. Appreciate it. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was speaking about Ted Cruz. I probably said Terry, speaking about him being a rhino. A Bush Republican. Thank you to Chevy, who says, ABL, I love your work product. Even more amazing is a white man made you perform in blackface. Quote, there is only one way to avoid criticism. Do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing. Aristotle, unquote. 100%. 1,000%. Thank you to Noel, who says, that political spectrum is called the Overton window. Center Democrats are starting to look like Republicans, like Elon. Facts. Thank you to Rita for the high five emoji. Thank you to Jason, who says, I'm not scared of cops either, but I'm scared of paying that ticket. Yeah, that ticket to get you. You know, definitely depending upon where you are as well. Thank you to Big Tom for the hippo emoji. Thank you to 2D Fruity, the creator, for the rocket emoji. I appreciate you for that. Thank you to Raymond, who says, I've always followed the golden rule. Treat others how you want to be treated. Then it became treat others how they want to be treated. Woke 101. Very good point. Very, very good point. That's a good one. I'm gonna take that from you. And thank you to Pete Sangria, who says, I sent you a tweet. Wait till you see it. Thank you to Chet for your donation. And thank you to Uncle Stu, the old man on the block. Thank you for that, man. I appreciate you. I see you on TLA streams too, man. So welcome here, man. I appreciate you for joining. But we got calls on deck, or we're about to. And the number to call is 434-658. There it is. Or it went away. 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. If you can't get through, it's not my fault. It's Skype. Acts up. It's not my fault. Please blame the white man, because I don't take responsibility for what happens here. All right, but again, 434-658-1220. The number is always in the description box below. Let's go to the first one. 541, you're online. I'm going to speak it to.
Hey, ABL, this is Matt.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Oh, not much. I never called in before. I'm a huge fan of the show. I'm just thought I'd say hi real quick. And actually, I kind of had a question for you. Sounds like we're on the same spectrum with everything, and as far as politics and everything. I was just kind of curious what your thoughts were on the Durham case with Hillary Clinton. How do you think that'll turn out?
I can't tell, man. Like, I don't think much will come of it because of Hillary Clinton being who she is and being so tied into politics. I don't have a lot of faith in that case coming out favorably for anybody on the right.
Yeah, I would probably have to agree with you on that, which is kind of sad. I was just hoping maybe you had a different angle on that, but
nah,
doesn't sound like you do either, man. I was just like, man, if there's anybody I could see getting taken down, that'd be really nice. It'd be Hillary Clinton, or because that's just gonna be like a domino effect. So
yeah,
just figured I'd call and say hi. Figured I'd ask you something like that I hadn't heard you. Well, I mean, I know you talked about it, but I don't know. I figured I'd bring it back up and see what you thought about that. So appreciate what you do, brother.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Hey, you have a good one, man.
Same to you. All right. Shout out to the caller and to my man, Bob K, MIT. TLA is the lead attorney. Really good YouTuber. Shout out to him. Let's go to 918. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, JD Scotsman from Oklahoma. How you doing, buddy?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Oh, not a lot, dude. I don't know. I was going to comment a little bit about the that Alejandro Mayorkas guy, because he did have that hearing. And I didn't watch the whole thing either, but I did watch some select clips of some of the guys that were grilling him. And, man, this guy is pure evil. I mean, he is treasonous, and they called him out on that. He needs to be tarred and feathered, and he needs to be put in a cannon and shot back to Cuba. He has done so much harm to America through the border, through defunding ICE, defunding Border Patrol, and just flat out lying to everyone's face, looking right at him and telling them, the border's under control, there's not a problem there. BS. It's a total disaster. And I'm sick of all these, this talk, all these hearings, I want to see some action. All right? I want to see action. Enough talk. We know the guy's a piece of crap. Just like pretty much everyone in the Biden administration was chosen just based on their gender and ethnicity, So yeah, I mean, something's got to happen, and now they're gearing up for the midterms with this whole Ministry of Truth stuff, because of course, I believe everything the government says. So I'm just saying, if this midterm elections, they've got to be fair. I mean, if something's got to happen, if they stay in power, then yeah, it's done for America. I hate to say it. Something's got to happen, and it's got to be fair. But people like him, just boot him out of there. Just get rid of him right now. I mean, whether you're Republican or Democrat, he's obviously not doing his job. So why is he still there?
Exactly. That's a very good point. But I think that under the current administration, they think he's doing a great job just leaving the border wide open. I mean, I don't really understand the motive to that much illegal immigration, but I think it's going to come back to bite them, and it's going to be definitely a retaliation, votes-wise, for sure. Midterms are going to be a disaster, and I think 2024 will also be a disaster for the Democrats, for sure.
Well, I hope so. I mean, but sadly, in 2020, we all predicted a big red wave, Trump re-election, and look what happened. I mean, they flat out stole that and got away with it, and they probably got a plan to do it again, I'm sure. That's why they're all hating on Elon Musk right now, because they can't hide behind Twitter anymore now. So they're going to pull out some tricks. I know they will. But as for Alejandro Mayorkas, I mean, I despise the man so much. Who he reminds me of? You've seen the movie Scarface, right?
Yeah.
Classic movie. Remember the assassin, the one they took to New York City to plant the bomb on the car, and he couldn't speak English, so they had to, that's why they got Tony taken to America and pull off that assassination attempt.
Yeah.
That's who he reminds me of.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah. I mean, that guy he just makes me sick the way he just lies straight to your face. But anyway, I've gone off enough, and it's early, so let's get some more calls in. And have a good night, brother.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, man.
All right, shout out to the caller. All right, Matt, what's going on?
ABL, what are you doing?
Ain't too much, man. Hanging out.
Good. Not being a giant turkey, driving that truck around too fast.
Driving it, man. Pushing it to the limit.
Man, I've been wanting to explore this whole black people are afraid of cops thing, which is why they refuse to get arrested or they'll resist arrest or something like that. I got a letter, I want to say maybe about 8 years ago from the IRS, and the IRS said I owed them $40,000 and that they had filed a tax return on my behalf, and I have to remit a payment and everything like that. I remember being pretty afraid of that. And you know what I did?
What's that?
I told them, go to hell. I told them, I'm afraid of you, so I'm going to resist this. And I fought them. They tried to arrest me, and I resisted arrest. No, I basically complied with every single demand that they had. I was definitely afraid of them. I did everything they absolutely. I don't understand this whole people are afraid of the police, so they're going to resist them, steal their taser, try to run away, and all this other stuff. It makes no sense. Why isn't the opposite true? What is the? I mean, is this a logical fallacy? It seems completely backwards.
Yeah, it doesn't really make any sense. Like if you are afraid of the police, you like you said, you would just comply and follow the demands. If you're not afraid, then you're just gonna do whatever you want, fight, get away. You don't have any fear there. So yeah, I see what you're saying. It doesn't make any sense.
Yes, I mean, I don't know. Of course, they're not afraid. I mean, prison even is a rite of passage. You know, I mean, like it's where they finally, in a lot of communities, they finally get to see their dad. You know what I mean? Or find a father figure, for crying out loud. I don't get it. Another thing I don't get is this AOC. I think she's fine, man. I don't know what the hell people are talking about.
You like her?
I am jealous. And this wacko girl that's doing the singing too, that's gonna run the Ministry of Truth. She's fine as hell, and I think the problem is these soy boys aren't taking one from the team. I mean, these ladies just need a real man in their lives, and I mean that's the issue. And I'm not even joking. I mean, like you look at Republicans. So every war in the last 100 years, except for the war on terror, was started by Democrats. And I'm just talking about war. I'm talking about democide. I'm talking about hundreds of thousands, tens of millions of lives lost. Even I think the number is in tens of millions of children that starved to death in Iraq because of the oil for food program. The big switch was who the heck was in charge. It was a woman. You had Madeleine Albright. Then you had Condoleezza Rice. Then you had Susan Rice. Then when these ladies became the Secretary of State, aka the people that were, those are the people that really had their fingers on the bomb, so to speak. They're not compassionate, and you see all these problems. So I don't blame AOC. I don't blame that weirdo lady that sings in the Ministry of Truth. I blame the men for just letting them run away with it all. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Like what men? The men in their lives, or just men in general? Like men in politics? Those that could.
Just men in politics. Yeah, we're all P words. We need a man up.
I think that the men that are in politics on their side aren't men. They're pretty soft, so they're gonna let them do whatever they want to do. And the same thing with the men in their lives. Like AOC has a boyfriend, some guy you really don't see. He's like the photographer, the Instagram photographer boyfriend. That's who she has. She's not going to get with no real kind of strong guy because he's going to want to try to control her. And that's oppressive. That's regressive. That's not very feminist in nature. Now, is it?
No, I guess she when she ran for Congress, she was answering a casting call. Did you hear that story?
Yeah, like they're
just looking for someone to run. You know what I mean? We're looking for a lady that we could put in charge and just let her do whatever the hell they want, and then preferably someone that's into weird, pasty-looking dudes that wear flip-flops outside of a pool. That makes no sense at all. But yeah, I mean, someone's basically going to have to make these girls their wives and girlfriends. That's the big issue.
Good luck. Good luck with that. Good luck.
I mean, the school teachers even that used to be, they were all moms and stuff like that, and now they're all single. So what happens when, you know, they don't get on that first rung of the relationship ladder is they end up dyeing their hair and cutting off their breasts and all this other stuff.
The cat farmers.
And it's nuts. It's the men that are letting them do it. So yeah, man, that's all I got for you. I appreciate you so much. And yeah, the IRS is scary as hell. I guess that's all I want to leave you with.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it.
That'd be good.
All right, shout out to Matt for the call. Spicy call as always. But nah, I mean, these women, they don't want a man, a real man in their life. They want somebody they can control. They want a beta. That's what she has. That's exactly what she has. You don't think there's been men that have tried to holler at AOC and really get with her, really, strong, masculine men? They don't want that, man. They want the soft guy that they could tell to do whatever they want. Hey, man, look, I'm about to pose over here in front of this fence. You take the pictures, put it on Instagram right now. Excuse me. They want to wear their pants in a relationship. That's what that is. They want to wear their pants, and they got it. That's why feminism. That's what they teach. And when they get to be a little bit older, they can farm cats for a living. Call you online, speaker to 717. Caller, hello, 717.
Hi.
Hey, what's going on?
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, I can hear you.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Hi, ABL. It's a pleasure to speak with you. My name is Johans. I've been following you for a very, very long time, since the beginning, you as well as the entire crew. You know the names. I guess I'm too nervous right now to say the names and everything. I just want to say that I really like what you're doing for our community. I appreciate it. I did want to say really quickly, not to hold up too much time. A lot of the things that's going on right now, when I will speak to my friends and family about a lot of the stuff that's going on. And in the past, they would call me all different types of names, family and friends. And when I bring those things up today, they would say, oh, yeah, I didn't remember saying that. I never said that. You know the names, the usual, coons, all this other different types of stuff. You don't like your own culture and so on. But I've noticed everything that's going on. I've noticed it for a long time. And it started seeing you, Candace Owens, and a whole lot of other people, Ben Shapiro's, actually speaking out between 2016 and up until now. It wasn't until that I saw y'all speaking out, then I felt comfortable to speak the way that I know, the way that I am. Since I've landed in this country, I've been in this country almost 30 years, from Guyana in South America. Since I landed in this country, the only people that has ever called me any kind of names are my own kind of folks. Go back to Africa, the names Black, so on and so on and so on. From white folks or Caucasian folks, all I get is, you talk so proper, your skin is like velvet, and so on and so on. So I really want to know who the racists really are. Who. And in any case, I just wanted to say that that little piece right there, I really appreciate what's going on. I really want people to be able to wake up. I had a friend of mine that I met in high school for over 20 years. He no longer talks to me because we would have these discussions about these things that's going on, and he would automatically go back to, racism and white folks did this and so on and so on and so on. And the last thing that I said to him was exactly what's going on in the news. And then I'm gonna cut the time. Did you notice what's going on in the news? If there's a white person that did something, they would plaster that person. If there was a Black person that did it, they wouldn't give much more information. He said, well, they did it to us. So why wouldn't it be a good thing now? So I said to him, that's not a good thing to say. Like, to fight fire with fire is never a good thing. The last thing I'll say is, which I told him and all of my family, is that during the time of slavery, and which they have a misunderstanding of. I'm not going to go through that. But during that time, there were white folks dying because they fought against it. They didn't like it. They were in their homes, had these feelings that they didn't, abolitionists who were dying. In this current time, if we want to be racist against white folks, myself, I'm not standing for it. I will fight against it. And I thank you for opening people's eyes. I thank you and the whole crew, their names, for opening up people's eyes.
Thank you, man. That means a lot to me, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Thank you for having me.
All right, now. Great call. Shout out to the caller. I like calls like that people, they really get some out of what I say. So I'm not just speaking into the wind. I like being able to get people to come on board and really follow what I got going on. This is why I tell people you want to be on the biggest platforms where everybody is, because they got to be able to find you. If I go to a platform where it's just us, I'm preaching to the choir. I want to be able to get new people on and change lives, change hearts and change minds, change lives for sure. Let me get to some more here. And let's go to 929. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Anthony.
What's happening?
Yes, so about the microchip man, which I mean Elon Musk, right? So we need to hold our high hopes because, yes, he by Twitter, but again, like, he's the guy that want put microchip in our brain, Also, he's the guy is the pro Red China guy. He have the WeChat app, and he believe in the climate change hoax.
Yeah, you're talking about Elon. So he's a microchip man, trying to microchip people in their brain, and also believing in climate change.
Yes. Also, he's the guy. I believe that he want the universal income,
Yeah. And UBI as well. Yeah. Think about Elon. I'm not the kind of guy that says whatever, all of what he does is right, but I like what he's doing specifically as far as Twitter and the free speech. Now, other things that he does is different, but this year I like what he's doing. So I can compartmentalize. I can just take what he's doing with Twitter and like that, and then move other things over there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, let's see about that. So we should like not just him, and let's see it. Let's see about it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that works out.
All right. So about the guy named Jim Shorter and the Texas governor, the Great Abbott, the code member of the World Code Forum, they literally welcome the microchip man and give him free land for the Twitter headquarters. So first of all, we're not sure if the microchip man gonna fire all the work employee or not, and we're not even sure if he gonna fire them all. Second, like the employees in the Tesla, they are bunch of like the pro transhumanism, the pro environment climate change host, the pro Red China. Also, don't forget that the microchip man, he did give money to the GOP establishment and the Democrat.
That's right. Yeah. And the ACLU.
Yes, possible.
Yeah, because Amber Heard, because at the time he was dating Amber Heard after Johnny Depp was finished with her. So he was dating her, and he set up a fund for her to give to the ACLU.
Right. So it is linked to Johnny Depp?
Yeah. Well, Amber Heard dated Johnny Depp, and then after he was done, she went to Elon Musk and dated him, and then through him, she gave money to the ACLU.
Oh, I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
So about Donald Trump, I want to say that Donald Trump, right? I really don't want to trust him because just right now he endorsed. Guess what? He endorsed my Spence brothers.
He endorsed who now?
My Spence brother.
I can't.
You know the vice president that stopped him, Mike Pence.
Mike Pence, his brother.
Yes, he endorsed his brother.
Oh, okay.
What the F? Why you endorse this guy? Is his brother did talk shit about his own brother? Like, I want to know that, you know?
Yeah, I don't know too much about that situation, but that's interesting that he did that.
Yes, talk about that. He endorsed the rumor Oz, which Dr. Oz. That guy is literally like pro transgender, like pro climate change host, and also he believed in the lockdown and mandate too.
Okay.
But talk about the rumor Oz, the other guy that tried to compete with him, the guy named David McCormick, the guy going as the GOP candidate, right? Guess what? He is no different from Goomer Oz. He is the literally the copy of the Goomer Oz, but the only difference of him is he is a pro-Red China, and also he is the CEO of the. Also, he is the corporation guys, the CEO of corporation. You know.
Okay. All right, but I got some more calls online. Got to get to, so I thank you for your call. I appreciate it.
Okay, so let go, Brandon, and the shot must flow.
All right, thank you for the call. All right, shout out to the caller. But yeah, I've seen that a lot about Elon. People are saying, hey, man, watch out for this guy. But I'm not trying to make Elon be the president. I just like what he's doing as far as Twitter and the whole free speech thing. You know, you don't have to necessarily be on the same page with me politically to be able to do a thing I like. We can, like, you got to have people that are allied with you in this. You can't just be all on one side and that's it. All right, Tariq, what's going on?
Hey, ABL, what's up, man? I just want to just tag on some of the conversations from some of the callers. You know, one of them was about AOC, man. And yeah, you're right, man. AOC is, you know, the only type of dude that would really get with AOC is a beta male, man. Because you understand, man, you know, most men who deal with women like AOC know that, you know, that type of, I'm an independent female, I don't need no man, is very combative, you know, and it's just not worth it. But in America, that some men will still, regardless of what AOC says and stand for, they will still holler at her and still sit for her. Like, I even seen somebody post a picture of AOC talking about she may be crazy, but she looks good though. I'm like, yo, like, if, you know, the reason why some women act the way they act in America is because some men don't have no standards, you know, and that is the problem. If there's no consequences for actions and behaviors, there is no need to change. So yeah, man, sadly, there is going to be a lot of beta males or simps, lining up for AOC. And I would also say, just for an example of a beta male, I do see Dwayne Wade as a beta male. I don't think Dwayne Wade runs his home. I strongly think he is like the side chick in that relationship. It's like Gabrielle Union runs that entire relationship in my opinion. I saw a picture with Dwayne Wade, Gabrielle Union, and his son Zaya. Gabrielle Union was standing in the middle of the picture as if she was the head of the home, with Dwayne Wade on one side and Zaya on the other side. And to me, it just seems like Dwayne Wade tends to do things just to get praise from liberals. This is why Dwayne Wade, in my opinion, is pimping on his son, which is evil to me, which is wrong. But he doesn't post anything, any compliments of what his son achieves. The only thing he posts about his son is his son's sexual lifestyle, which is, to me, perverted. And then I don't know if you saw that picture with his son kissing on some little girl. Did you see that photo?
Yeah, I saw that, where it was a girl, but the girl thinks they're a boy.
Yeah. What's interesting? Would Dwayne Wade allow his own daughter to do that? I'm just curious. If his daughter gets that age, I wonder if he'd allow another young boy to romantically kiss his daughter like that. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like he's just sexualizing his son just to get praise. And yeah, to me, that is grooming. But anyways, that's all I want to say on that topic. The other topic with the Elon Musk is that, people are just coming up with just trivial things about Elon Musk, about what he used to support. Regardless of that, man, anything is better than what we have at Twitter now. Now, no one knows what Elon Musk is going to do exactly, but from what it looks like, until we actually get him in, what it looks like, he sounds like he's going to allow more free speech, and it looks like Trump may be coming back. That's what it looks like. All this other complaining, it's like, what do you guys want? Do you guys want the status quo? It's like, what? I'm hearing people bringing up him being from South Africa and apartheid. So what? Like that has nothing to do with free speech right now. You know what I'm saying? What we have to understand, bro, is if this censorship of social media, that affects elections. Because if people cannot speak in truth about what the Democrats is doing, what nonsense is being spread, if it's being censored, then that is silencing pertinent information that needs to get out to the American public, which can sway the election. So yeah, man, I'm not going to cheerlead on Elon Musk, but I'm just like, yo, it's better than what we have. People need to stop complaining, and let's just see what happens, bro. And yeah, man, that's pretty much all I want to say, man.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it.
All right, take care.
He's right on point, though. It's like, look, all the stuff about Elon and what he does and his political beliefs and his past and present, it's like, look, man, I'm focused on this right here. We could just join forces on this right here. It's just like whenever I give a Bill Maher some praise, we know Bill Maher is a liberal, and it's not a guy that I would agree with normally, but if he's right, he's right. I got to give him his credit sometimes. Just because somebody is opposed to you in a lot of different ways does not necessarily make them evil or a person that you can't get along with and get something done with. That's just how it is, man. 678, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, this is Monica, ABL. Thank you for taking my call. I wanted to, and I absolutely love your show. My mom turned me on to you, of all things. Love it. So thankful to her. I wanted to give a perspective to the salty caller and maybe to even you. I agree with you 99% of your philosophies, but I wanted to give a perspective. I am a Black female. I was a law enforcement officer, and I'm going to tell you where. Gwinnett County, Georgia, in the 90s. So you know what that means.
Yes.
So I'm Black, and I was the second Black female that they had ever hired in the history of the department. So I'm going to say this, and I hope everybody understands. There is some truth to why Black people, certain Black people, why they run and why they resist police. And I'll tell you why. From a law enforcement perspective, you have, unfortunately, some of these Black families that use, well, I'll say this, single Black women that use law enforcement as a tool. And I could go to a call, for example, a cat up in a tree. And if I got there and it was a Black family and she had some babies or something like that running around, she more likely than not would say things like, well, if you don't listen, I'm going to get them to take you away. They're going to take you away. I promise you, so many of the calls that I would go to, that's what they would do. And I would jump on those women. I've never had a man do it, but it was always single Black mothers with 3 and 4 kids. Or I'd go for something and the mother would say, well, he's not listening. Can you just kind of threaten him a little bit? I'm not kidding. It absolutely would tear me apart how these Black women, and this is something that is unspoken in the Black community. I'm sure that there are other Black officers that have experienced this. They don't talk about it. The other thing that they use us as a tool, these little kids grow up and I'm not saying they know better, they should know better, but when you come from that environment and you're being fed garbage in, garbage out, you're following some music that may not be on the up and up, and there are so many other factors that go into it, but we as law enforcement, especially being Black, I was used so much. As a matter of fact, I lost a very best friend of mine, somebody that I grew up with this woman, and she had a daughter. And this was years after I was on the force. Years in, she called me one day and she asked me to come over. And I said, what's going on? You okay? She said, I need you to threaten my daughter. I said, what? Her daughter was 5 years old at the time. My former best friend asked me to put her in the back of my police car and threatened to take her away if she didn't listen. I lost a friend of 30 years because I refused to do it. Really?
5 years old.
But 5 years old. And ABL, I'm real talk. A lot of the Black women on the calls that I would go to, if they had out of control children as a sideline, if I was there for something else, they would always ask me, well, can you just tell them that they're going to be taken to jail if they don't listen. And I truly believe that if you don't have a strong male, or you don't have a strong male figure in the household, or strong parental guidance, you're going to grow up with a mindset of police are bad. I'm going to run. I think I'm not trying to make an excuse, and I don't want anybody to think that, but coming from that law enforcement perspective, we absolutely were used. At least I was. I'm sorry. I was absolutely used by the Black community to threaten Black children.
It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense because it explains why that kind of mentality goes on, because it's taught to these kids from an early age, and the police they're not utilized properly. They're used to be disciplinary when there's no dads a lot of time to try and make the child do something. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I understand what you're saying.
So yeah, there it is. And I actually, nobody ever says this, but I think your wife is absolutely stunning. So shout out to Mrs. Anthony Brown Logan, and congratulations.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate you.
Have a good night.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. Fantastic call. Let's get to some more here. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. The number is always in the description. Also in the ticker at a certain point when it comes across, not right there. That's the website, anthonyblogan.com. Check it on out. 228, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, how you doing, Anthony? This is Valerie from Mississippi.
All righty. I'm all right. How about yourself?
Okay. Listen, what's all this stuff about ministry of truth? We don't have ministry. Are they trying to change our whole government? We don't have ministries in this country. We have the Department of Justice, not the Ministry of Justice. We have the Department of Agriculture, not the Ministry of Agriculture. I mean, what's all this ministry stuff? We don't have ministries and we don't have ministers. We have departments and department heads. What's all this crap? What are they trying to change? Everything?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Well, I'm not, I'm not going to say, and we've never had a Department of Truth. It should be, without saying that our politicians tell us the truth, but we all know they don't. And that goes for both parties. They got as many liars on the Republican side as they do on the Democrat side. We got a clean house. That's my opinion, but
I agree with you 100%. You're right on point.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to go down to the Ministry of Justice and make a complaint. Okay, that's all I got to say, and whoever calls up and starts talking about the ministry of this and the other, you should remind them we don't have ministries. We have departments. We don't have ministers. Our ministers are in church. The ministers are department heads, and that's what it is. We're America, not Europe.
That's right, 100%.
That's the way I feel about it. Okay, I'll let you go.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Let's get to some more here. 434-658, you know the rest. 860, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, how you doing, brother? This is F&A Ranger at Fox.
All right, man, what's going on?
I just had to turn my speaker off on my cell phone. Well, a lot of people couldn't understand, how did Obama get so rich all of a sudden where he could buy a $14 million oceanside estate? Not a house, an estate. But how that is, well, his stepfather in Indonesia was a billionaire and a friend of the Bushes. So, and you always notice you see the Clintons with the Bushes all the time, right?
Yes.
That's the New World Order. And Tulsi Gabbard and, Crenshaw, Dan Crenshaw. I used to respect him until I found out he's part of the World Economic Forum, New World Order. But you notice all the time they used to tout Obamacare?
Yeah.
Every time it was mentioned, that was trademarked. So guess who got paid?
Oh, really? So he owns that actual trademark?
Yeah. Obama. Who else would own Obamacare trademark?
Good point.
I'm just saying, I was just trying to figure out, how did he get so much money all of a sudden? Oh, okay. That's how. Another thing, if you were to ask people on the street, and I've seen a lot of videos, and you ask how many unarmed blacks were shot by police in 2019? Oh, the average person will say between 1,000 and 10,000.
Between 1,000 and 10,000 people?
I kid you not. I could not believe the ignorance until I saw it with my own eyes. I've even asked coworkers how many they thought, and they'd always say, 1,000. And I look at them and say, do you know it was 9? And that white boys were shot unarmed by police, but they all had one thing in common. They said, what was that? I said, they were fighting them.
Right.
But what to say about Terry Crews is Topher's song, Terry Crews. I love that song. I boom it in my truck all the time because I bought the CD. I bought all Topher CDs. I like that young man.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Good guy.
I'm going to close with this, ABL. One more thing before I close. On YouTube, I get in arguments sometimes with the wokety woke. And a lot of black people don't understand that 1/3 of all slave owners before the Civil War were black.
Mm-hmm.
That the first permanent slave owner was a black man. They don't know that.
Yeah, Anthony Johnson.
And yep, Anthony Johnson, and John Cesar was his slave who was his indentured servant. And then when he thought his term was over, he went to the farmer down the road. But Anthony Johnson was so well loved by the British court of England in the British colony of Virginia, because America had slavery dumped on us. We didn't, we're building the foundation of America on slavery. No. And there's another slave who became very wealthy and very famous and actually bought his plantation from the governor of South Carolina. What's his name? Oh, darn. Hold on one second.
All right, we got live research.
There it is.
Oh, okay, you got it?
Yeah. Here it is. I got it right here. Shoot. Oh, I lost it. Anyway, cotton gins, and his master let him keep a little bit on the side, and eventually got his freedom, and ended up buying his plantation with 98 slaves that he raised from the governor of South Carolina. Black-white racism until after the Civil War, and Jim Crow came in, and because I've always said, ABL, and I'm going to finish. I want to see a young black man, well-dressed, well-educated, well-spoken, gainfully employed, buying his own house, buying the car of his dreams, because then that young man's going to think exactly the same way I do. And with that, I'm going to let you go, brother. I love you. You have a good night. God bless America. And we need to get these commies out of here. That's all I got, brother.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you. I don't know what happened. I must have messed up and closed my settings out. Sorry for the loud noise. Let me go ahead and fix that right quick. Yeah, messing up live on, hey, we gotta get an IT person to come in here and tighten everything up. Hold on. Okay, I didn't do it. Let's try this. Okay, there we go. Sorry if RRP headphone users. Try that one more time. 513, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 513. Yeah, hello. Can you hear me?
Hey there. My name is CJ. I'm from Ohio. I just want to ask you a question.
All right, go for it.
So, how can we combat, all these schools teaching all these woke, crap in curriculums? Like, how can we properly combat that? Because right now I feel like there's not much people can do besides pull their kids out of school, and that's not really an option for many folks.
Well, the best way is to kind of go along the lines of what Ron DeSantis is doing in Florida by having laws passed on the state level to eliminate a lot of that stuff, if not all of it. That's probably the best way because, like you said, it's not always the solution to pull your kids out of school and do homeschool or private. And sometimes even in private, you got weird stuff going on. So I think it's more about just trying to pass laws on the state level to combat it. So you got to vote for the right people on your local elections, your mayor, county mayor, governor, et cetera. That's the way that I would go about it.
If we're not talking about it when it comes to like a government level, like how could we I don't know. There's some people I feel who are younger who are misguided and they fall for all this like woke crap and they're not really sure about their identity and the left kind of uses them and leads them astray. Like how would you help someone out in your community who is going through some stuff but You know, because like these people, they're real people. They're just misguided. You know, that's the way I look at it.
So, like, what's your question about like helping kids that are going through some things as far as what they are learning in school?
Yeah, like, I mean, the way the left is saying that how we solve the problem with, you know, transgenderism and gender dysphoria is, oh, you tell the kids that they're, you know, the reality is that they are a girl or they are a boy when they're not, right? But what I feel should be done is, because I think it's a real issue, but I think, you know, there's definitely some kind of other solution. And I don't know how we would go to kids and say, or go to our peers or whatever and say, hey, you know, I don't think this is right for you, you know, without seeming, you know, like a jerk or anything like that. I'm just wondering if you had any advice.
I'm not really sure. I think the main thing would be if you have parents that are raising children and they got to take them to public school, you know, like debrief them when they come home, do something to try and counteract what's happening. It's hard for somebody on the outside, like especially if you're dealing with children or people that are underage, to try to tell them a different way. The best way is with the parents and what they learn in school. That's going to have the most influence on them because they see them the most. They have the most impact on their lives. And if you're dealing with people that are adults, like they're your friends, or even if you are the same age as people, like you're 15, 16 years old and a friend of yours is the same age, maybe there could be some peer influence there. If you guys are friends and talk all the time, that could be something like that. And if you're dealing with adults, it could be the same way. But I think that's going to be somewhat effective. But the most effective way would be if you're able to impact some of these laws so you don't have the constant daily indoctrination of these people to where they get to a point where they believe all of what is being told to them.
Right. Well, thanks. I appreciate that response. And I just wanted to say your content is awesome. I really respect the work you do. Yeah.
Thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you.
Later, man.
It's a good call. Shout out to the caller. But yeah, I think the main thing would be you got to get them before they are just brainwashed by whatever's going on. Okay. Yeah, cameras in the classroom, that's something that should happen. And a lot of these people are against cameras in the classroom, and you got to ask yourself why. Why are they against the cameras in the classroom? Why would that be a bad thing? 773 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
How you doing, ABL? It's your retired Chicago police officer friend.
All righty, man. What's going on?
You know, I don't exactly agree with the politics of Bill Maher, but I think our sometimes conservatives' best friend is that far left woke person, because it pushes people like that towards being more conservative.
That's right.
Because they see how crazy, you know, it's the thing where you give them an inch and they take a mile, and they see that that's what's exactly happened. Even if they don't want to blame it on that, that is exactly what happened. Some of the policies that you thought was a conservative or a liberal policy, and you thought it was a good idea, now look what the far left has done with it. They've taken off with it, and it makes people like Bill Maher. Bill Maher always says, "I haven't changed." You know, I haven't changed, meaning, you know, he's conservative on some things, he's liberal on other things. He's probably more liberal than I would like, but it pushes people like that towards the conservative side because they're just so far out there. I mean, you know, third graders about, you know, I don't want people talking about sex with my third grader at all.
Right, exactly.
You know, it's completely ridiculous. And then because the female police officer called in, that happens all the time, not just with the black community, even though, you know, I worked in a ghetto, mostly in a black community. It happens with everybody that uses the police as a hammer. You know, if you don't do what I say, I'm going to call the police. And I always loved when they called the police, and then I arrested them, and they said, but I called. Yeah, it doesn't matter who calls the police. I made a determination. You're the one that was in the wrong. So you're the one with the handcuffs and going in the squad car. That was always kind of entertaining. But I called. Yeah, you called on yourself. That's what you did. You called on yourself. So that was always fun. But great show all the time, ABL. I love your content. I love watching your posts during the week also. Keep up the good work.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot though. I'm gonna call the police. It's just, people get threatened with the police. A lot of times you have domestic situations or it's all kind of stuff going on, and in that heated battle, sometimes a person may not know. Oh, I'm about to go to jail. I'm about to get arrested. Like, yeah, you actually broke the law here. You did something wrong. You hit the person in the head with a sledgehammer and they bleeding. Okay, and they didn't do anything to you that warranted that. So yeah, you're going to the penitentiary right now. That's kind of how that goes. All right. So it is what it is. All right, let's go to 516. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is ABL.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, but turn the stream down in the background for me, please.
How you doing? Hello?
Yeah, you there?
Yes, this is ABL.
Yes, it is. Are you on speakerphone?
Yes.
You turn it off for me, please.
Okay. Hello?
All right, go ahead.
Yes, how you doing?
Everything's all good.
That I actually got on. I just wanted to talk about, have you ever seen that video of the young brother that got pulled over and he had guns on him and he got away freely? Nothing ever happened to him. He just he got pulled off with so many guns in the car, and the cops came. They knew that he had guns, and he showed the cops nothing but respect, and the cops showed him nothing but respect, and he came away freely. I never heard you speak about that. Have you ever did before?
I've not seen that video before.
Oh yeah, but it happened I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was floating around the internet. It's surprising that you didn't hear about it, but yes, a brother got pulled over. I forgot where it was at, but it had a long video about it. He got pulled over by cops, white and black cops, and he had so many guns on him. He had a lot of ammunition on him, and he had a gun on his chest, and they seen it. But, the cops were being very respectful to him, and he was licensed to carry. And I think he was an instructor or something like that. But the whole point of the video is the respect that he showed the authorities, the police officer, and the cops showed him nothing but respect back. And people was mad about it because he didn't go off. He got his... People would say that the cops violated his rights when that never happened. Everybody was respectful to each other. Nobody lost their life. And that was a wonderful thing. It's crazy that you didn't hear about it, though.
Yeah, I got to find that one. I didn't get that one in my email, so I got to go check it out. But see, that's one they don't want it to be out there because it kills everything. They say, oh, if you black and you got guns, you're going to get shot up, and they're going to, nah. Just that's what I said in my video today about people getting pulled over. It's like, man, just don't be weird. Don't be acting crazy. Just show respect and you get respect back. That's what I always done in my whole life. And I've never had a problem.
Yeah. And that's the crazy thing about it. What this generation is lacking is respect for authority, for parents, for God, for just police officers. They don't have respect. And this is the reason why this generation is the way it is now, because we lack respect, and the fathers are not in the homes, especially in the black community. The fathers is not in the homes to show the children, show the men and the women how to respect people that are older than them. You understand what I'm saying? So
right.
We need more fathers in the crib, whether you're black, white, orange, green, purple, don't matter what color you are. We need the fathers in the crib directing the children, showing the children what not to do, how to speak to people that are older than them. Nowadays, you have these young children cursing out grandmothers, cursing out police officers, like, there's no respect. That's why the word is. And then once you lose respect for God, it's like, that's my personal opinion. Like, you won't have no respect for anybody because God is the creator of all living. Once you stop
respecting God is like you don't have respect for anybody.
That's right. Right on.
So, and another thing, you had talked about this. It's kind of biblical, but you talked about this, I think, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and you were talking about how I want to get you right. Correct me if I'm wrong. You were talking about how there's certain things in like the people in religious groups, like they have different type of religious beliefs, like Baptist, Pentecostal, you have Mormons, you have all these, but they all supposed to believe in one God. And it kind of throws you off, right? If I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
I'm not sure. I can't remember what I was talking about, but I'm just saying, like, a lot of the religions, well, I think what I was saying was that the religion part of it is man-made because people have different ways of going about it, and everybody says they're right. So that part I don't really understand necessarily.
I get it. And a lot of people have that same misunderstanding. But my thing is this, because of the simple fact, I agree to a certain extent what you're saying, because you have all these different type of religious beliefs. You have Baptist, Pentecostal, you have Muslim, Buddhist. But why we have all these different type of religious beliefs, but we're supposed to be serving one God. You understand? And like you said before, is man-made religion, because in the scriptures it tells us God only wants us to be holy. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He wants to be holy. He didn't call us to be anything else but holy. He never called us to be Baptist. He never called us to be a part of any different type of religious group. He just said, be holy. Follow his word and pray, continuously pray, follow, seek him, ask some things that you are struggling with, and he'll show you eventually. As long as you continuously seek him in prayer and in fasting, he will definitely answer your prayer, because the Bible tells us to ask and you shall receive. So whatever you need God to ask you, whatever you need understanding with, seek God in prayer, and God bless you, and God bless everybody in the chat.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you. All right, so I found the video. Thank you to Lucho Velli in the chat. I was reading your chat. You said 2 Guns D. That's the person that had the police, the gun on his chest. I could play a little bit of this right quick. I don't want to play the whole thing, but you guys can find him. The number 2 GUNZDEE. 2 Guns D. I'm gonna put this in the I'm put his name in the chat so you guys can go to his page. So that's the name right there, 2 Guns D. So here is some of the video where the guy had a gun on his chest and was able to be cool with the police and nothing happened. So here's a video. It says, "Please put me over with a gun on my chest." So you see the gun right there. It's definitely a gun on his chest.
Vehicle. I'm just
okay. See when he comes to the window.
So we on your way. Listen, I'm all. I know you got me, man. This car not even supposed to be on the street. I was driving. They was gonna come tow it. I'm transporting everything out of here to my other vehicle. I'm just trying to just drive it. I got another car at the dealership. You know what I mean? Because I know it's not supposed to be on the road. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You mind if I see your face, brother?
Oh no.
You good. So, okay. So, are you transporting your gun from the range?
Oh no. I'm a well. Let me explain. So I'm
you got a handgun on you too.
Absolutely. I'm gonna tell you what I do. So I'm a firearm instructor, state of Maryland, certified firearm instructor.
You got your instructor card?
I got everything. I'm gonna pull everything up for you. I'm also ex-law enforcement, current.
Where you at? Okay.
So that's why I got machine guns back there, silencers, anything you need, just let me know. But No, seriously. Listen. When I pop the trunk, you gonna be like, yo, who the fuck is this guy? But I got all my documentations in the back seat. I'll give you everything. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure y'all was like, who the hell is this guy, man? Shades on, you know what I mean? You check him out.
Okay. And you got.
Yeah, I'm actually, like I said, I was dropping this off because it's not supposed to be on the road. You know what I'm saying? I was dropping it off, taking everything out, and then shooting out to go do a class. Actually, you know what I mean?
Okay. Where your class at?
Guntree.
Oh, you going Guntree
Yeah.
at Owens Mills.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's how you just be regular, dude. He got all types of guns, machine guns, everything, guns everywhere, boom, boom, and he's fine. Now, of course, it's a black guy talking to him, but it's a white cop right there, and the white cop just chilling, taking notes, chilling.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna make sure your credentials good.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Take your time, man. Like I said, if you allow me to pop the trunk, I can give you my other credentials. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I'm gonna stand by because I want to make sure.
Yes, sir.
That
I'm
we're
gonna keep
safe.
my hands here.
Yeah. Look, listen to me. You got a lot of arson, and you got the Glock on your chest.
Yes, sir.
Is the AR back there? Is that unloaded?
No, everything is loaded. Everything is
So
loaded.
you got a lot. Just do me a favor. Keep your hands.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna keep my hands like this for y'all. That's cool?
Okay. No. You fine. Just
all right,
leave on the steering wheel.
Yes,
So
sir.
you have a loaded Glock.
Hey, listen. Hey, sir. Listen, man. I want everybody to be safe. You know what I mean? And I could be anybody. I could be a fucking terrorist. So I get it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
So
It's so simple, man. People just don't know how to talk. I think one thing people kind of, I want to play the whole video here, but you guys can watch that on this channel. 2 Guns D, the number 2 GUNZ space DEE. 2 Guns D. But people don't really have social skills like that anymore. They can't talk that way. I could do that all day long. That's just, I could just be personable, be nice, and all that type of stuff. But really, you ain't got to do all that. If you're not necessarily that personable, that nice, that charming, and conversationalist, just speak when you're spoken to. Be cool. Don't be nervous. Don't be weird. Just be regular. That's it. That's all you got to do. A lot of guys might not be that cool and calm and collected. I understand, but just don't be weird. That's all. Very respectful. Don't try to fight. Well, why I got to put my hands up? Why do all that? Like, you're not going to, if you're trying to fight with the officer, you're trying to fight, it's not going to work out well for you. It's not going to work out well at all. My man had a gun right here on his chest. You could easily just hit it and then shoot. But he just wasn't being weird about it. If he was being weird and all type of extra stuff, that could have been a different situation. Strapped to the teeth. Yes, he was. Man, guns everywhere. Machine guns, fully loaded. All of that. Gun right here on his chest. Come on. That's really all you got to do. Yeah, personally, I wouldn't do all that talking. But if I would talk if I'm spoken to. You see what I'm saying? I'm that kind of person in that situation. You ask me a question, I'll be real personable. I'll be real nice, charming. That's just me in general. But I'm not really going to offer you a bunch of extra stuff if you're not asking for it. I'm not going to speak while I'm not being spoken to in that situation, which I think that's kind of a normal thing. That's a normal way to go about it. Only in America, that's right. That's why proud to be I don't want to sing for y'all, but you already know what it is. Proud to be an American. Yeah, that was something. But see, videos like that, they don't want you to see. It has millions of views. I think the video has, how many views? Let me check it out right quick. That video has 7.3 million views, and it came out 3 months ago. So it's a very popular video. His channel has 98,000 subscribers. So a good channel, but not a huge channel. Not big like Coley on the War or nothing like that. But still a nice number. But to have 7.3 million views, that means it went viral, basically. But yet, a lot of us, I'd never seen it before. And this is what I do for a living, and watch these videos and comment and all that kind of stuff. So if I didn't see it, imagine who else didn't see it. Maybe they don't want us to see stuff like that because it ruins the narrative. It ruins the whole BLM narrative. All right? Second Amendment all day long. Yeah, didn't feel threatened. Yeah, but me, I don't really have to do that much talking, but I can. And if it was a female cop, oh man, that's a whole different, you know what I mean? It'd have been real cool at that point. Instagram inflated their numbers. That was a YouTube video. That wasn't even on IG. That was YouTube. So I don't know. And that's funny how it went viral on YouTube. YouTube is good, but YouTube just has political problems, the same as Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, etc. They get the political people are in the back. That's kind of what's going on. Noah Garcia says, ABL singing, you will definitely make it in an Asian cookout. Hilarious. Shout out to the Asian cookout, man. If you got some Asians cooking out, I want to go. If they're Filipino, man. If they're Filipino, sign me up. I'm in there. I'm swiping that lumpia immediately. That's what I'm gonna do. Lowdown 49 says, go check out the armed fisherman, formerly Solo Yaker, a two-way auditor who is not white and carries open in Florida and videos it. Shout out to him. You got open carry here in Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. I think we got open carry, constitutional carry. I think we have that in Tennessee and Georgia. I know you can conceal carry with no permit. I'm not sure about open carry though, but you can conceal carry here with no permit in Tennessee and Georgia. Ron says, just found you, love it. Well, I'm glad you're here, man. No, stay for the party. It's gonna be fun, man. So thank you. What state? Maryland. That's where the guy was from. The guy with the gun right there, he was in Maryland. You know, talking about Oxon Hill. Are you Filipino, bro? Hey, thank you, man. Hey, when you having the cookout and you get the lumpia, the pancit, all that, the chicken adobo, I'm in there, 100%. But yeah, the guy was talking about Oxon Hill and stuff like that. That's like closer to DC, so that area of the state. Yep, and that guy was law enforcement, so that helps. I don't have any calls right now, so I'm just hanging out with y'all. Let me see. Open carry here in Washington with no permit, but it's not smart. Too many crazy people here. I mean, I don't know. I think open carry makes sense depending upon the situation. You know, I think it does make sense. If VA we have open carry, constitutional, you can open carry, but you got to have a permit to conceal. I think open carry makes more sense because it's a deterrent. But that's me though. I think you have the element of surprise with concealed carry, and you're not going to scare people with your open carry pistol, rifle, or whatever. But I prefer open carry personally because it's a deterrent, not necessarily a target. You know, because if somebody see the gun, like it depends on where you are. Like if you're in certain communities and they see a gun on you, they're gonna leave you alone. That's typically what I've seen. But if they don't see the gun on you, they may take a risk thinking that you might not have it, so you could be a victim. But if you got it and they can see it, then they might want to fall back. When you're talking about crimes of opportunity, robberies, and kidnappings, things of that nature, because you got it right there. You don't gotta do no extra stuff. You could just hit it and then boom. It's bad if you're alone. Yeah. So I guess there's pros and cons to concealed versus open. But around here, I see a lot of open and concealed. Well, I know people that do conceal. Can't see the concealed, obviously, most of the time. But I see a lot of people that open carry. Kip Dripper says open carry is kind of stupid because you don't want to let the guy know you have a gun. I don't know. I guess it depends. And, you know, in the hood, I want you to know I got a gun. Because I want you to just back away. I don't want you to try to, you know, do that to me. Tennessee's concealed carry, yeah. Tennessee's concealed carry, and they passed that in Georgia as well. So you could go Nashville, Chattanooga, Atlanta, Macon, you know, wherever you want to go, and you good. All up and down, was that 75? Charlotte says, ABL, my wife is Czech, and you would love their food. Hey, I'm open to new foods. That's one thing I like to do is discover new foods. I had always had like Italian food, but then I discovered the more Greek, Mediterranean, the baklava and all that kind of stuff. Super good. Love it. Whenever I'm out of town, they got a Greek spot. I kind of want to go get the falafel and all that. Yeah. So if they got some good food, I'm with it. Honduran food, especially what's that? Bolitas. Okay, I'll check it out. I was at a Cuban spot around here recently. The Platano, all that, that's real good. The Cuban, Jamaican food is always good. The beef patties, jerk chicken, love it. I need to restart Skype. Okay, that's a good idea. I almost forgot. See, y'all keeping me on point right now. Let me go ahead and try to restart Skype because that could be a block. Oh, I love Thai food already. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Thai food. Let me get some of that pad Thai. Yeah, some of that pad Thai and the Thai tea to go with it. Yep, and put some duck in the pad Thai. We rolling. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Thai food. Yeah, but it's got to be by Thai people. If I look in the back of your kitchen and I don't see any Thai aunties in there, I'm like, man, this ain't really it. If I see some Americans, if I see some white people and some black people back there, some teenagers, I'm like, man, nah, this ain't no McDonald's, man. You need to get some authentic people back here. You know what I mean? Whipping these noodles up. You know what I mean? Get these noodles whipped up. Put all the peanut sauce and all that kind of stuff. I want all of that. If they don't have that, then I can't do nothing with it. Point blank. All right. So let me get to another call here. 818, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. So first off, big fan. And yeah, Thai food is amazing. My wife is Thai.
Yes, sir.
Learned a lot of, Thai dishes from my mother-in-law. But that's not why I called. The reason why I called was I wanted to bring to attention, like, what Terry Crews said when he tweeted out, make sure that Black Lives Matter doesn't become, Black Lives Better, right? And I would have to say to the conservative people as well that we got to be careful, because they're given so much criticism as well to Elon Musk. And just because you may not fully agree with somebody, it's important to go ahead and praise the things that you do agree with and you think are right, and not be like the left and criticize everything, even if they agree with you on something that's just one thing, and then they just demonize you through the entire thing.
Right. Yeah. I feel the same way. It's like, look, we have differences, and that's okay, because you're not going to get along with everybody 100%. You may have deep differences, but if you can get along on this particular thing, join forces on this and help each other, that's beautiful. That's the way that it should be.
Yeah. And that's really all I wanted to call in about, because I keep hearing people say, well, Bill Maher this or Elon Musk that. And it's like, yeah, Elon Musk, yeah, I don't agree with a lot of things he does or says. However, he works on it and he does do things that I do agree with. Okay, I don't agree with climate change, but he's obviously trying to do something he believes in, and we all should, praise that. He's got the money, he's got everything to do it, and he's not trying to hurt people in the process.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah, that's all I just really wanted to say, and just big shout out to you, and I appreciate it, big fan, and I hope you have a great night.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. But yeah, let's just get along and do some stuff together. That's the main thing. All right, caller on the line, speaking to 757. Caller, hello.
Hey, hello, ABL.
Hey, now.
Hi. So been watching you for a long time. I don't have too much to say. I just saw that you didn't have any calls, and I wanted to give you a shout out. I was born up in Pennsylvania in a small coal town in mining village, and then my mom brought us down to Hampton, where she got a job at the shipbuilding there. But no, I think if everybody could live right around there, we'd be in a better place, honestly.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah. So anyway, I just enjoy your show, and I just wanted to say hi.
Well, thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. But yeah, get back to a simple life, simple way of living, not so much extra stuff going on. Yeah, whenever I go to like the cities, it's just a little bit too much. I like going to Atlanta. I like visiting. I like going to Nashville too, because I'm not too far from either one, like an hour and a half, 2 hours respectively. But I don't want to stay there. I like staying right where I'm at in the center, kind of in a smaller place where I can just chill, not too much extra weird stuff going on. All right, let me get to the next one. 860, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Karen from Connecticut. How are you doing, ABL?
I'm well. Can't complain about yourself.
I'm doing well. I was just wondering, everyone hates junk mail, right? We get this mail all the time. Like credit card companies, every month I'll get the same big packet with nice paper and plastic, like a fake card attached. And I think about, the rainforests are being chopped down to make this paper, all the carbon to like bring that tree and chop it up, make it into paper, get it somewhere to be printed, to be sent to people's houses. It's like so bad for the environment, and no one even likes junk mail. To me, it's completely worthless. If you try to stop getting it, you can't. They'll keep sending it to you. And, it's like, it drives me nuts because I don't know how California did their campaign to end plastic straws, which, it's something little and, great for the environment. But it's like, why can't we get rid of junk mail? Or a campaign like that. It's like things that will actually make a difference. Like nobody ever jumps on board. Like, what are your thoughts?
Well, that's something that could go, but one thing about it is, how would these people that run their campaigns, they want to be able to, one reason why I might not pass a thing like getting rid of junk mail is because a lot of people kind of funnel their money through junk mail. Like Maxine Waters pays her daughter in the tune of millions to produce junk mail for her campaign. So they're losing a revenue stream there. So it's a lot of stuff like that goes on when you look deeper into it. It's like, why is this happening? Why am I getting so much trash? Somebody getting paid for that trash. It's funneling money.
Yeah, you're right. One of my friends told me always follow the money trail. And it's like, it's such junk, I don't even read it. It just goes through the shredder, which is a pain in the butt because now you got to shred things. And then, half of the recycling that you actually spend time to clean and sort just gets dumped in the garbage once it actually goes through processing. And it's just, it just seems like all the people that say they care about the environment do nothing. Like Earth Day, I was expecting to see or hear from all these people who pushed the Green New Deal. I was like, let's see what they're doing on Earth Day. Supposedly Mother Earth's birthday, big celebration, something. They must say something. And even people from Greenpeace and stuff, it was silent. But, pushing green is such a big deal now. So it just doesn't make sense to me. What they don't say says so much more than what they do say. It's like, come on. They're such bad at lying.
I'm with you.
I hate to say it, but they're so fake. It's ridiculous.
Nah, you're right on point.
Yeah. It just doesn't make sense to me either. Okay, shut down our pipelines. I had major concerns about the Keystone pipeline because it went over a big chunk of land that was an aquifer with clean water. And once you get oil and clean water, you can never fix it. It's just completely ravaged. That's it. It'll never be the same. But it's we could figure out ways to build around it or, figure out, give me the technology and back it with scientific research how we could prevent that, especially when we know that, railway cars, they spill, and, the amount of oil spills, now, it's nobody even cares. You hear about these huge dumps. There was one dump, I saw the headline where it was, last week, down near, the Galapagos Islands or somewhere, and it's, endangered species. And it's frustrating because nobody actually does the hard work to actually make a difference, but they sit back and complain about these artificial things.
Right on. I'm with you.
Exhausting.
Well, thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
I know. All right. Shout out to the caller. And thank you all for being here. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. If Skype acts up, it's not my fault. You got to blame the white man for that. The white man that is behind the hamster wheel running Skype. It's his fault. It's not mine. Let's get it some more. 215 here on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, hold on real quick. Hey, ABL, how's it going?
It's all good, man.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I wanted to talk to you honestly. So first of all, I'm gonna just this is my honest opinion. I don't care who gets offended by AOC. I've seen way more attractive females than AOC, and I'm not saying she's ugly, but it's just her personality completely makes her ugly. Plus, she's got like that crazy face, wrinkles, and buck teeth. So I mean, I don't really see that.
Hey, everybody has what they like, what they don't like. You know, personally to me, she's kind of looking like Ratatouille, but that's just my opinion. Everybody's different, though.
Yeah, true. Yeah, she kind of does, but I'm not saying she's ugly. But first of all, her personality, just how crazy she is, makes her unattractive. So,
no doubt.
Yeah, and another thing I wanted to talk to you about is how we pretty much, after everything, you know, it's funny, after Biden got elected, now that you know, most have buyer's remorse, and most people are still trying to support him, and they're just not like believing him. They're not aware of the lies yet.
Yeah,
so what happened is
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You good?
All right. So what happened was a friend of mine. She said, I remember 2 years ago how she couldn't stand Trump. Said all this stuff, X, Y, and Z. Oh, he was involved with women being trafficked and all that other kind of stuff. And I was like, I should have asked her. Okay, so where's your sources? My friend sent me all these articles about Trump doing this and that. I was like, are these allegations? Is this allegedly, or are these actual factual? And meanwhile, you have Biden saying all this kind of stuff. You know what's funny? She's a black woman. You can tell she's not really for black people. She don't really care about black people. It's all about what benefits her. But she was all, I told her about what all the racist stuff Biden said. She said that he didn't mean it that way. That's not what he meant. The media is just trying to label it that Biden is racist when that man is not. I'm like, you have not watched not one rally. And now all of a sudden she hates him. And she's like, why don't they just put Obama back in office? It's like, Obama? Oh, first of all, Obama, like, honey, next time when we talk politics, I was like, what is Obama? First of all, Obama still can make something happen for the black community. Or he used to have a lot of popularity, and he could get a whole bunch of celebrities together, and they all could put their money together and make something happen for the black community if they really want to. But they really don't care.
Now, Barack Obama just, he's a political guy just like everybody else, part of the machine. He's just more likable than the guy they have in there now. But at the end of the day, they're not much different. They're going to do what they're told by those that run the show from behind the scenes.
Pretty much. Yeah. Actually, that does make sense. You got a point with that because Obama, he, like you said, he's part of the machine. They're all just part of the same, like you said, the same machine, pretty much.
That's right.
Yeah, but that's really all I had to say today. Tonight, ABL. Have a good night, ABL. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
All right, have a good one.
All right, shout out to the caller. And thank you all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internets. 408, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, my name is Jean, and I live in San Jose, California. And I want to tell you, we really appreciate your program. We think you're great and humorous. And but I have a question that's kind of off subject of what you've been talking about tonight. But we see these children coming. They walk by when we're sitting outside, and they're from the middle school nearby. It's actually where I went to school, and they've noticed that a lot of them are wearing black hoods and masks, even though they're outside and it's warm outside. Why are they doing that? I wonder what's going on at school or with their social life or with their families that causes them to be kind of making themselves invisible.
I'm not really sure. Maybe it's the whole thing about wearing masks for a couple of years that has gotten them in a certain kind of mind state, because a lot of these kids, they wearing masks in their formative years. So then it kind of becomes a habit. I'm not really sure, but that could be linked to the whole mask thing, because they may have felt invisible during that time, and they may want to stay invisible.
Yeah, because it's sad. We weren't doing that when I was in school, but that was many years ago. But I'm 67, so. But I just worry about them, and we won't ask them why, because I don't want to give them any challenge or anything. But sometimes they say hi, but it's usually not the ones in the mask. So,
right.
We like to sit outside because it's fresh air and nice and, out there. But, but we really appreciate your program. And, I had one more question. Why are you considering Ted Cruz a rhino? Because I thought he's been working so hard in the Senate with these confirmations and things.
Well, I didn't say he was. I was reading a super chat where somebody said he was. Personally, I think he's okay. I don't have an issue with Ted Cruz really. But I think somebody was just saying that, so I was just reading it.
Yeah, he seems like a really good debater and really intelligent person. And I actually was in favor of him, during the primaries against Trump.
Right.
But then because of way, Trump talks, his attitude, but when I saw what Trump actually was doing when he got to be president, he really won me over. And also that there were so many people against him on the left. And that actually made me a stronger supporter of Trump.
That's right.
So anyway, well, that's all I have, but keep doing the work you're doing. It's wonderful.
Thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
Okay. Thank you. Good night.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. And thank you all for still being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internets. Let's go to another one here. 702, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, I'm Jesse from Las Vegas.
All righty, man.
Nevada. Hey, man, I was just listening to the last caller, man. I agree, man. These people, man, still rocking these masks. It be hot outside, bruh. It's crazy, man. It kind of scares me, man. I think that's a ploy just so people can go do criminality or something. I don't know. But when I go into Walmart, there be a lot of people wearing masks all the time. I just be looking at them and I shake my head.
Yeah, I see it all the time. And a lot of times it's the people that are kind of older. I see them all the time. And then,
I see the young ones, too. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy out here. It's kind of, I want to say, Las Vegas is kind of blue. It's kind of really blue. But misinformed, that's what I say.
Right.
Anyways, I don't want to keep you long. I just want to say I like your show, Anthony. I've been listening to you for a while. Yep. All right, man. You be good. All right.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. All right. Shout out to the caller. But yeah, I'm seeing that mask stuff all the time. A lot of time, what I see around here is typically the older people. They wear their masks a lot still. And you see them in Walmart. It's like they put it on before they go into Walmart. And the craziest thing is when you at a restaurant and they be at a table sitting down with their mask on. It's like, okay, what are we going to do here? What's our objective today? How are we going to consume any kind of food? Is you going to pass through your mask? How is that going to work? I don't really understand. That's kind of strange to me. All right, I got one more, and then I wrap it up. 405, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, this is Travis.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Chilling. How you doing?
Everything's all right, man. Can't complain.
Yeah, y'all were talking about Biden voters. They unwilling to kind of critique or criticize, even though they know, there's obviously points against them. And it's almost, to me, it's almost as if people have been conditioned to, rather than think critically and analyze what the president's doing, they just say, he's my party, so that's good enough for me. Let the government take care of me. And they don't really analyze what's actually going on. And they've distracted people with that rather than the important truths. Do you think that's true?
I'm not sure quite the question.
Well, I'm saying people are more focused on their party and whether or not a Republican or Democrat, rather than what they're actually doing.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, like a lot of that, but see, a lot of these people, they don't really understand what's being told to them. They don't really get it. All they know is if their party says something, they'll believe it, and they'll parrot it, but they don't actually know what they are even saying. Because if you ask them, like they say something like, okay, the science says masks work, and you try to ask them about it, it's like, well, what kind of talking? We're talking about the K95, we're talking about surgical, we're talking about, what are we saying? We're talking about the particles that come from the virus. If you get down into the details of it, they don't know, because all they heard was the headline that had been drilled into their head night after night on television because their party says it, because their favorite political person says it, they're going to parrot it, but they don't actually know why they believe it, aside from their favorite political person said it.
Yeah, and that's so crazy, right? Can you believe? I mean, society's always been fed propaganda like that, and they've been working to tribalize people into not thinking for themselves and just saying, I'm with this party, I'm with that party, no matter what. And yeah, a Republican could say the exact same thing as a Democrat, do the same exact actions, and they'll justify their side and find a reason to hate on the other side. So I don't know. To me, it's crazy how people can't think for themselves anymore, and they'll just have double standards. But anyway, I'm just rambling now, so I'll let you go. But I appreciate your show, and I love you, and have a good night.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it. All right. Shout out to the call. That's a great way to end the show. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internets. I'll be back live again on Wednesday. And if there's a Tatum stream on next Thursday, I'll be there. If he streams, I'm in there. You already know what it is. And of course, I'll be back here live again next Saturday. I promise. And no more missing shows. Every Wednesday, Saturday, I'm going to do it. And I got to find some kind of time, some kind of way to do another channel. I want to do more like I said, Uncle ABL, that's coming. I just got to find some time to do it, and I'm going to be in there. So thank y'all again for joining the stream. You guys, I couldn't do it without you. I got super chats to read right here, and then I wrap it on up, put the bow on the top. And thank you to the moderators doing what you do, keeping all the trolls in check and everybody in line. Again, you guys are indispensable. So thank you. Let me see. Let me go back to where I was. Thank you to Conservative Patriot, who says, great show as always, ABL. Thank you for that. Thank you to Jeff Jones, who says, time for a new movement in America. Stop letting the federal government steal our money. They are completely unaccountable with our money, and it has to stop. They can't get us all right. Thanks, ABL. Thank you for that. Thank you to Raymond, who says, we're the United States of America. We are liberty. Datslav Atman Carey says, hashtag keep fighting. Thank you to Final Faye, who says, we went to Target today and saw where they had a gay pride clothing section for children. I'm talking short rainbow mini skirts, tank tops, dresses, etc. Ridiculous. Thank you to Effie Ranger Xbox, who says, shocking history of William Ellison and Anthony Johnson YouTube. Blue states use virus funds for CRT in school Fox News. I'll check that out. Technologic says, with a fireplace background. You know, I could have had a fireplace in my house when they were building it, but I was like, nah, I don't want no fireplace. I ain't want the maintenance. So I could have had a fireplace. I might get one of them electric fireplaces to do it that way. Get an IKEA fireplace or something like that and talk right there. But anyway, let's move on. Thank you to Anthony McQuaid, who says ABL should drive a smart car. Hey, man, I'll be looking like a whole busted can of biscuits in the smart car. I'll be spilling out that. I can't fit, man. I'm 6'3" right here. 200 and some odd pounds, man. I can't fit into no smart car. That's going to be a whole disaster. Thank you to Farner Faye, who says BCP did a video on a new Discovery Plus show called Generation Drag. It was adolescent drag queens on their influence in the newer generation to become gay. Not an agenda, huh? It's crazy. So you have adults influencing minors to become part of their lifestyle, just like what is going on right now with Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson's son, EJ, and Dwayne Wade's son. All right, you have the older guy influencing the younger guy to get into their whole lifestyle. That's how they do. That's why they have these adults trying to indoctrinate children in the classrooms. That's what they do. But let's go to the next one. Thank you to Devin, who says, my favorite thing you've ever said is we all have a role in keeping our country sane. Speak, act, vote, witness, influence. We all belong. Thanks, sir. Thank you for that. I'm glad you remember that, because we all have a role. Everyone can't do what I do, and that's fine. I can't do what everybody else does. Everybody has their role. Everybody has a position to play. Just do whatever you can to help the nation, to help our country, to just be part of society and contribute in a positive way. Whatever you can do is whatever you can do. Thank you to Farner Faye, who says, Fauci said on live TV for people to respect his decision for going to the Correspondence Dinner, but he can't respect my decision to not get the shot, right? And the mask wearing too. Thank you to Donde 2K, who says, quote, if somebody is 80% my ally, that doesn't make him 20% my enemy, unquote. Ronald Reagan, who was the OG conservative and knew how to move things forward. Facts. 100% facts. Thank you to Razor Sharp Thoughtfulness, who says victimhood mentality is a compliment the guilty pay to innocence. Woke leftism is a joke. That was deep right there. Victimhood mentality is a compliment the guilty pay to innocence. Thank you to Raymond, who says, Anthony, I appreciate what a range of callers you have. It's like a point of connection for America. You help forward the line, not just hold it. Thank you for that. And thank you to IWD for being a 6-month member. You guys are the best. Couldn't do it without you. But I'll be back live again on Wednesday and then on Saturday. Nothing about the week pre-recorded videos. But that'll be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.